All right, we'll be live momentarily. I'm gonna need some audio checks as well. Get this going here. Address I'm gonna put immediately. Immediately. All right, so get that there like so, and that there. If you guys got audio, let me know. Good evening, that dude. When I hear dude, I always think about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm not military, Julian. I thank you for the accolades, but I am not military. If you can hear me, you guys got good audio. Let me know. Give me an audio check so it'll help expedite getting the program going. So if you guys got audio, let me know. I still haven't gotten an audio check, so I'll wait until that comes in. But let me know if you got good audio. Nobody said I can't hear, so I'm assuming you. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I was because normally if you got bad audio, people are yelling because they can see. I can see your lips moving, and I don't see you saying shit. So everybody got good audio. So we'll go ahead and get the other streams going momentarily here. Want to make sure it got the Wi-Fi running and not the other bullshit. Handsome conservative says, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the plan, the host with the most, your friend and mine. Put your mother in the hands together for the handsome liberal. Handsome conservative, always starting the program off right. Thank you very much for your support. Not only today, but all the time. Handsome conservative, certainly. I don't have a large contingent of supporters, but you certainly are one. So thank you very much. Real quick, going to the program, I think we should be able to get everything going now. We're going to be talking about the notion of fixing America first. This is something you don't seem to. We hear about America first. We don't hear about fix America first. And we're going to talk about it from that standpoint because should be obvious by now. President Trump's administration has been more international than domestic. Most of the, whether we're talking about liberating Iranian protesters or what he's done for the Venezuelan people. I do believe there were some Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, that he had a small bombing strike. What else is there? He hasn't really been gung-ho on helping the Ukraine. But the point I'm making is simple. He has been more focused on international issues as opposed to domestic. And this coincides with the whole notion of making America great and being America first. You just heard me play a clip the other day where he was telling some reporter she didn't know what the hell was going on in Argentina and that the people there were dying. So now you're seeing all of these videos all over social media that we're going to be purchasing Argentinian beef at the expense of farmers in this country. So for 90 days, somebody's telling me on YouTube over here, for 90 days, they're going to put the Argentinians in terms of their beef above the American cattle ranchers. So we're talking about in regards to fixing America first. What I want to do is host a show where we got other topics too. And I see somebody said, "Don't white folks mad about that too?" Any farmer should be mad about that. If you voted for a president that suggested he was all about America first, and then he got in there, and all of a sudden he's talking about Venezuelan citizens that are being oppressed and Iranian protesters, and he's talking about taking over Gaza and Cuba's next, and Nigerian Christians being persecuted. Like, damn, when do you get to us? When do you get to the Americans? So I can understand them being upset about that. So what I want to do is host a show by asking a simple question. I'm going to have callers come up And this can go anywhere, folks. So our callers are left, right, indifference. We got folks in the middle. Appreciate that. Handsome, conservative, beautiful. The clapper gift, thank you. Our callers can go in all different directions. So the point is, I want to know from you folks. I'm just curious to see, and I'll be taking notes and questioning folks on this, pushing back and agreeing where applicable. Give me 3 to 5 aspects of American life in this country that you believe President Trump, or maybe you want to talk about Biden or even the future administration. 3 things that need to be, 3 pressing issues that you're concerned with that need to be addressed or fixed immediately. Now, perhaps Trump is working on those issues. Maybe he's totally ignoring them. But 3 to 5 things you believe are important that needs to be addressed immediately. Probably more so than Iranian protesters, Nigerian Christians, what's going on in Cuba, freeing Venezuelan citizens probably more pressing than that stuff. So we're going to be talking about that. In addition to that, Darlene Graham, the Republican nominee for Senate in South Carolina, has won that spot. So she's now going, but she was the Republican, that was Trump's baby, or, what Trump promoted, Lindsey Graham's sister. Now she has won the Republican nomination. She's won the Republican nomination. And bear with me if I'm having biting moments because I'm typing and talking at the same time. But I want to ask you folks, we heard nothing but, and this came from everybody from, what is his name? The trillionaire, Elon Musk. This came from everybody from Elon Musk to President Trump to Pete Hegseth. We're talking about DEI, even Charlie Kirk. DEI, you heard it everywhere when Trump got elected. Why is Darlene Graham not viewed as DEI? Whether we're talking about folks who are getting jobs because they're gay, trans, black, Hispanic, a woman, Muslim. We've been hearing all about DEI. We heard about it with Kamala Harris. We've heard about it with a whole bunch of federal employees. Why is Darlene Graham not in that category? Somebody explain that to me. Is this a case of MAGA hypocrisy? Because MAGA certainly has made it clear they believe you should earn any position you get. It should be based on merit, not who you are, not your skin color, not your sexual orientation, not your religion. How the hell did she get the Republican nomination for Senate? I want to talk to you folks about that. And side question on that same topic, do you believe it could potentially put that Senate seat at risk? South Carolina's blood red. It's not an easy. I think the last Democrat they propelled to senator was in '98. So it's been that long since they had a Democrat senator. So it's not like South Carolina is something the Democrats need to stand up and down and cheer for their chances. But I mean, we are talking about a Senate candidate now that does not have, I don't know if she has any merit whatsoever. What is she? What is her background? How the hell did she get a Senate nomination? Even at the congressional level, it's like, how the hell would she get that? But a senator? I heard all day, every day, how inexperienced Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was when she became a congresswoman. But now we're going to get Darlene Graham the Senate spot? How is that not DEI? Somebody make a case for me how she's experienced, how she has earned that role. Because like I stated, my beloved MAGA has no tolerance for DEI. So someone needs to tell me how they all decided in South Carolina to get behind this woman when they had what was the name? I can't think of the guy's name, but they had an experienced Republican running against her. Unfortunately, he made the mistake of endorsing Nikki Haley. He endorsed Nikki Haley for president when she was running against Trump. So once you endorse somebody against Trump, Trump is not going to endorse you. But even though Trump endorsed Darlene Graham, I want to know, how did she get the position with little to no merit? So we're going to talk about that. And last but not least, with us entering what appears to be I want to say a trade war with Canada, but this shit is global, because Canada's kind of one of the last countries we're now going back and forth with tariffs. I mean, on Liberation Day, Trump basically tariffed the fucking world. So it's not like Canada is the only country we're imposing tariffs on. But I do want to hear from you folks in regards to, do you think this, I guess, mindset of America against everybody will turn out victorious for us? Do you believe that America, as Trump says, as MAGA says, was literally being abused by virtually every nation on earth? Because that's what the Trump administration, whether we're talking NATO, whether we're talking countries we have a trade imbalance with, whether we're talking Iran, the aspect of MAGA and Trump was that every single country on earth was taking advantage of America. I want to hear from you folks. Do you believe that? Now, before we get into the taking of calls, I'm going to ask that you tap the screen, get the likes on up to 10,000. I do want you to hear this particular clip, and I found it interesting. I'll get your opinion on it.
So talks fell apart over President Trump's plans for up to 50% tariffs on about $20 billion worth of Canadian imports. I'm talking dairy, wine, hockey sticks, not a lot of stuff, but it is symbolic. And Mark Carney said, you're not going to do me that way. Those tariffs went into effect on Saturday. In response, Canada said, guess what? We're going to hit you back dollar for dollar over the next few weeks, but that's not all. Today, Trump said, as of January 1st, we're going to see these tariffs on cars, trucks, and steel, the major stuff. For me, this is why I think this trade war is uniquely stupid. First of all, it is going to make life for everyday Americans more expensive when affordability is already a problem heading into the midterms. And speaking of midterms, how do you think Susan Collins of Maine and Mike Rogers of Michigan feel? They're trying to get elected in November. This is going to crush their two states. And here's the other thing. Canada is a major trading ally and the U.S.'s second largest trading partner after Mexico, putting even more strain on what has been a historically strong relationship. To me, this is another example of Trump's fatal misunderstanding of foreign policy, just like how he's got us in this situation with Iran. His belief that we're the strongest, we're the biggest, we're the toughest, we're the best. So everybody is just going to have to get on their knees and roll over. Well, that's not how things work. And now here we have ourselves in another situation that was absolutely unnecessary, is only going to hurt both Canada and the U.S.
Now, it's not unnecessary if Canada was ripping us off. It's not unnecessary if it'll make things better for America, bring in jobs and help the economy and bring in money. But it's up to you whether you agree with her or whether you believe that Trump, what he's saying, is correct. What I want to ask you folks is simple. Do you favor all of this tariff wars that's going back and forth? Do you believe America will come out on top? And I made a video, and I'll go to the box right after this because we're over the 10,000. But I will. I made a video earlier in which the whole notion of America against the world is somewhat concerning. I do wonder if this stuff will not come back. But the video I made is in regards to American superiority. My analysis, and you guys can correct me when you think I'm wrong. You guys know I don't block, ban, or censor. I don't ever want to lead you to believe I'm a know-it-all, because a lot of you folks have better answers and better suggestions than I do. So I do often enjoy hearing your take as well. But American superiority, I think, is something we're starting to see, and it's coming from the right, in my opinion. What do I mean by American superiority? Has nothing to do with racism. It's not what you guys may be thinking. It's the notion that we are superior and we do not need anyone else on the planet, but they all need us. So no matter how bad we treat countries, how horrible our relationships become with those countries, the whole world needs us. So they're going to come scratching and clawing back to us. That seems to be the mindset of our current leadership and those that support what he is doing is that America is superior to everywhere on earth. We can take on countries militarily if we need them. Unilaterally, we really don't need any help. We cannot be defeated. All of that. It seems that there is a contingent of people in this country that believe that we are so superior, we can do anything to anyone by ourselves. There's nothing they can do about it, and that the world needs us. Am I stretching it too far? Do you see anything like that? Do I sound outlandish, or does that sound like something that you may agree with? Where folks in this country, I mean, because we tariffed the whole world simultaneously. We became a power, and thank you, Smokey, appreciate that. President Trump came to power by literally criticizing everyone. NATO, the United Nations. He obviously took on Iran. He threatened Greenland. I mean, he tariffed the world. Like, we do not need anyone. We are on top. Fuck you, because you will eventually come crawling back to us at one point. Do you see any validity in what I'm saying, or does it sound crazy? Looking in the comments, somebody says outlandish is an understatement, says Elliot. Elliot, I'll have to get you on. I'd love to hear your take on it, Elliot, without any censorship, of course. We will give you plenty of time. You guys know how the program is ran. We'll start taking callers. We are MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. You can be critical of anybody on this program, including yours truly. That's what free speech is about. You can be critical of anybody on this program. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie to I'm having dinner with Q. So looking in the comments, that's why you need to watch MAGA Zone, aka Twilight Zone. I've never heard of that, Poble. In the comments here, yeah, don't wicked Gentiles anytime the truth come out, they say you crazy, but yet crazy. They gave America away. Damn. Under the Holy Order says we have given America away. Yikes. And let me know, Chad, Chaser Rivas, if you got audio. Because some of you folks say you didn't have audio over there. America, fuck yeah, says handsome conservative. So do you guys agree that America is on top? We don't have to bow down to no one, and even if we treat everybody like shit, they will eventually come crawling back because everybody needs us. The US dollar is the standard, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody needs America. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe you're seeing something different. I'll go straight to the box, and we'll start it out with the one and only Smokey. Good evening, Smokey. Am I getting that wrong? Now, one of my guests did say in the comment section that I sounded outlandish. What say you? Good evening. You're on mute.
Evening.
There you go.
Doing well.
Are you there?
I don't disagree. Everyone, the United States thinks the world wants America. The world is already separated from us.
Explain.
How are tourism? How are tariffs? How many Canadians are coming here? How's the rest of the world treating us? Those deals that we did for lumber and steel, can we get them back?
Well,
So
wait.
Changed.
But what about
All the deals that we did for products, they're gone.
Yeah, but what about
Other countries took all the lumber.
What about the notion that they just have a bloody nose right now? They'll wipe their nose clean. They'll realize that they need America to function, the U.S. dollar, our technology, and they'll come back. Right now, they're upset. But that's the belief that eventually they will all come crawling back to America.
We were buying there, let's say, Canadian wood, let's say $10 a foot. Where we stopped, another country said, I'll give you 11. Or I'll give you 10.50. Every deal that we had for the commodities that helped build our country, those deals are gone and sold to other groups of people. You can't get a deal back that's been sold to somebody else when you reneged on the deal in the first place.
So you're making it sound like this is permanent damage.
How can you renegotiate a deal that's been sold to another country?
Well, Trump renegotiates deals all the time. He's renegotiating the JCPOA by war.
Canada's already sold their commodities that they used to sell to us to somebody else. They expected the rest of the world to go, oh crap, look, we've got all this lumber, we've got all this oil, we've got all this shit we can't sell. And the rest of the world came and said, oh, we'll gladly buy that. And we'll even be better to trade with. We'll be nicer, we'll be fairer. Sure, we'll even be reciprocal. So everything that we used to buy has been pre-sold to somebody else.
Then I got to ask this question. I had one of my MAGA friends I was talking to earlier today said, look, right now, when you look at inflation in the country and the price of gas, we're not super happy, but for the most part, Americans can survive. What I want to ask you is, if things are as bad as you're saying, why are things in America still somewhat manageable?
They're not manageable. Everyone just missed the structural shift from the company store. You guys call it credit. Who in this country doesn't owe the books?
Wait, repeat that. Repeat that again.
Who doesn't owe the books? The credit system is just the company store. So everyone's overextended. Everyone's in debt. Can they survive? If you look at the ratios from 1960 to now, a family of four with one person working could actually have about 30% of their income left over, owning their house, their car, education, healthcare, all of that.
Yeah.
Up to now, two parents working, you're about 60% in debt. Healthcare has increased 10,800% since 1960, but revenue and income has only increased 1,900%. The ratios have been skewed towards the corporations because it goes back to
now hold on.
Element.
I got a clip of you saying that before. Give me those numbers again. You said healthcare has increased how much?
10,800%.
Jesus Christ. In wages.
The median income at 1,900%.
Obviously, I'd have to look it up to make sure you know what the hell you're talking about. I don't doubt it.
Just go to AI and do a structural comparison from wages from 1960 to now, healthcare from 1960 to now. Right. Gas and food, you'll find, are fairly on par, but it's going to be education, housing, healthcare, cars.
Well, I know for a fact salaries haven't increased much because I often bring up the fact that I'm my previous career was a telecom engineer, and I just because I still got my resume out there online. I just got a job offer from a company doing exactly what I used to do that I stopped doing back in 2006 when I moved overseas. And the salary window is exactly the same in 2026 as it was when I started doing it in 97. So that's 30 years almost, and the salary for that, that's actually a livable wage job. And I'm like, wow. I mean, the salary hasn't moved in 30 years for a telecom engineer. I was really surprised. So when you say wages 1,900 in healthcare,
I see ratios. Look at the ratios.
Yeah.
One thing has stayed stable. Everything else has increased, and it's been corporate growth, corporate wealth, corporate greed, price gouging. All while Congress has never prevented it.
Why does that? Wait. Well, let's go with that. You say it's been corporate greed and corporate wealth. Why does half the country seem to think that this system is the know-all end-all? I mean, for the most part, the right side of the aisle, they'll tell you how bad socialism is and how bad communism is. They are not complaining about this system we're talking about.
Because they benefit from the lack of our knowledge. Because communism, socialism, neither system work. Logic works. Capitalism with capitalism without ethics isn't capitalism. We're not in a capitalist society. Everyone believes the buzzwords that are given. America, women, all this stuff, but you never fact check anything. Is that how we're operating? It's United States, person. Why can a corporation be a person? Why can they be the people? Why can they vote in Delaware? They don't have to even be 18.
Yeah.
We've lost control of people, person, citizen, and corporations have got full control of those three words in the Constitution and law, where we argue for them to give us permissions and we beg for what they might hand us, all while we never ask, where's our money?
So what is your solution? Because before we continue, I want to get your solution to what you're saying right now, but one of our questions is 3 to 5 things you believe America needs to fix immediately. But what is your solution to capitalism with basically no checks and balances versus folks who are now leaning towards socialism. I don't think anybody's leaning towards communism. I think communism is simply being used because from what I heard in one news report is that the folks on the right, they've been advised that socialism is no longer a scary word, but a lot more Americans are frightened of communism. So they're now calling people communists. When you got people who are openly campaigning as socialists, they're not even calling them socialists, they're calling them communists. Nobody's campaigning as a communist. They're just using it because they know Americans are scared of it. But what is your suggestion on putting this on the right track?
Everyone take a big step back. If you think 2 + 2 = 3, every equation afterwards is going to be wrong. And if your life and everything is based upon a flawed equation of 2 + 2 = 3, you're getting robbed and somebody else is getting more. You're the mark. So are we America, color, gender permissions, or are we United States, people, person, citizen? Once you reset that equation, and then you ask, can an act amend the Constitution? No. Oh, so the president's got no tariff power? No. War power? No. Do they have any power? Power of pardon. Maybe if we get back to actually 7 amendments and we enforce the rules of the game, because everyone's complaining, oh, we're losing. It's because you don't want to use the rules of the game, because it might call out your side. It might be uncomfortable that we have to realize we were conned. It's difficult to understand.
So how much power do you want the president to have?
The only power the president has, if you read Article 2, Section 2, is the power of pardon. Everything else is power bind with the advice and consent of Senate or of Congress, and that's the structural element of Senate.
So the only thing, wait. So the only thing the president is allowed to do is pardon people.
Yes. Have you read it? I'll show you.
Obviously not. Obviously not if I got that.
You can read it. Watch. Do you want me to actually? I've got it right here. Let's break it down together if you really want.
Talk to me. This is good. Talk to me.
Well, let's see here. I'll turn the camera on and show you the actual Constitution. Let's make this easy so I'm not saying anything. Never believe what anybody says.
Who the hell would want that position? Why would you want to be president if all you can do is pardon people?
Because we've given them too much structural power.
I agree with that, but I believe. Go ahead.
Let's see here.
So
the president shall be commander-in-chief of the. Notice here is the oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, not America, or of America. I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, not America, or of America. The president shall be, not is, shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into actual service of the United States. The power they have, he shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, not America or of America, except in cases of impeachment. He shall have the power, by and with the advice and consent of Senate, to make treaties, provide 2/3 of senators, by and with to nominate, by and with the advice and consent, by and with the advice and consent. The only other time he can do is, so he shall from time to time give Congress information on the state of the Union. He shall have the power to fill up vacancies that may happen during recess of Senate, which shall expire at the end of the next session. So temporary power.
That's a lot more than pardons. Your reading makes it clear he has a lot more power than pardons.
No.
Yes.
Senate. To put in the Supreme Court justices requires Senate approval, and then he signs it.
Well, here's why I'm saying that. Once he gets,
he doesn't have the job to say, do my bidding. His job is now to uphold the law.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's not to control them.
That's not what I'm saying. When I say he has more power, first of all, he obviously has to get approval from Congress to go to war. But then you make it clear in your piece there, he commands the military. So once he gets permission, what?
When called into the actual service of the United States, and to be called into the service of the United States is Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11, to declare war. Congress can't abdicate power from that. So once they declare war, then and only then for the militia, that's Article 1, Section 8, Clause 15 and 16 to provide for calling forth the militia. And you notice treason?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean,
treason is against the United States. So what's this America that
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell it to you this way. Based on what you're saying, nobody would want to be president. Nobody would want to do it. I mean, if that's all you can do is pardon people, the reason they're letting him have more power is because he's doing things. Huh?
The job is to uphold the law.
Yeah.
Congress write a law to make sure that every state makes sure that people, persons, citizens have the same rights. They do trade deals to make sure that we're not going into war because we're just negotiating. And then your local municipality decides if you want brothels or dry towns.
Yeah. Look. At the end of the day, the reading is astonishing because I'm going to assume that 90% of Americans don't know a lot of the stuff you're telling me. I'm going to admit. I'm going to plead ignorance on it myself. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I just showed you it's the United States.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Wait. Hold on. You get me with this every time, and let me make it clear.
I'll show you.
Hold on, hang on. You don't need to. I know it's true. I know North and South America. I know America is. Hold on, hang on. Let me make the point. I know we are not America. America encompasses everything from Canada all the way down to Chile. I get it, but when you've been trained to say something for so damn long. It's like trying to tell a soldier not to swear anymore. You've just been used to doing it. We've been used to calling ourselves America. You're 100% right. We are not America. We are the United States. It's an improper statement, but it's just what people have been used to doing, man. I get it. You call me out every time on it.
I'm going to show you the danger of it, though. Have a look at this here. In the year of our Lord, 1777, in the second year of independence of America. So the only time when they say "Make America Great Again," 1776, you look and you go, "Where is America 1776?" In the second year of our Lord of Independence, the second year of independence of America, 1776. In the very last sentence of that document, in the third year of independence of America. Sorry, right there. So America 1776 is this document.
Okay.
What's this document? Articles of Confederation.
All right.
When they say to make America great again, America 1776, it's called the Articles of Confederation. If you look at Project 2025, you get Articles of Confederation and you combine it with the first 10 amendments. You have Project 2025.
That part I'm aware of.
States, and that's how you overthrow the United States eternally, because U.S. citizens will simp for America, color gender permissions, and they will give aid and comfort to something other than the United States on a daily basis, and then say words don't matter. But if I use the N-word, everyone would say words do matter.
No.
If I mispronounce Harris's name incorrectly, they'll sell me T-shirts.
Smokey,
so words matter when it wants to be performative.
You live up to your name. You smoking every time you come on. Look, I enjoy talking to you because I enjoy feeling like an idiot. You show me up every time. Look.
Here's the difference. I don't want you to feel like an idiot. I didn't know this until I was trying to debunk MAGA and I was fighting for rights, and they kept bringing up the Constitution. And I said, fuck it, let me read it. And I realized we've all been conned. I've had to admit I was wrong about this document numerous times. I was wrong. It's easy to say that I was wrong. I thought women's rights was the 19th Amendment. It's sex. I was wrong. Now that I know that, I know it's non-binary, people, person, citizen. I won't categorize somebody into a subcategory. So if we can admit this, that's how we correct it. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't care which side you're on. Don't care if you want brothel towns or dry towns. Do you have the same rights as me because you're a person? Yeah. Have corporations fucked us and gotten more control of those words? Yes. Okay, that's it. Nothing more. And that's where we've been confused. They pitted us against each other. Vote party lines is voting unconstitutional lines. That's a violation of oath and unconstitutional. I vote constitutional lines, not party lines. We've got to get this party mindset out of our heads. So I appreciate you listening, because I just want to educate people for free.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Come on through anytime. Make me feel like an idiot. Educate me and the audience. Absolutely a pleasure. Smokey, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Well said. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know why is TikTok telling me I'm showing loops? I don't know if I don't know what the hell's going on, but TikTok is telling. TikTok. By the way, let me make it clear to you folks: if TikTok goes down, we generally continue. So we're on the Handsome Liberal on Clapper, Handsome Liberal on Substack, Instagram, YouTube, and then, of course, on TikTok. But the censorship on TikTok is so great that oftentimes now when they take the program down, I just continue on the other apps because we can take callers on Clapper, we can take callers on Substack, we can take callers on Instagram. So we got 3 other platforms, and I'm about to go on Twitch. Twitch is another one we're going to start using. So I don't know why the censorship on TikTok is so significant, but I just want to start going around it because it just censors you. I get some of the weirdest shit. Like it's already posted some stuff and said that what he was saying, they were flagging what my last guest was saying. None of the other apps, which all of this information is going into all the other apps, none of the other apps have any problem with what he was saying. But TikTok is already talking about his flagging it. Anyway, tap the screen and continue on. In the comments, exactly, our Constitution needs to be followed. Somebody needs to remind Donnie. It's not just Donnie, Juanita. What he was pointing out, I mean, my guess is just about all of them have violated the Constitution in some way or another. I mean, you heard him saying that the president only has the power of pardon. So all those executive orders, you remember Obama saying I won and I got my pen, all of that stuff. He's talking about all that. Now look, no matter what other politicians have done, whether it's, certainly when it comes to expanding their power, Trump's taken all of that to a new level. There are plenty of politicians that have used the office to make money. Trump is not the first person to do it. The only difference is Trump has taken almost all of the things that we tend to question or complain about to astronomically high levels. I mean, Trump is building a ballroom. The counterpoint is, well, Obama built the basketball court. I mean, that's the difference in levels that Trump is taking stuff to. You bring up Trump's children. Well, Hunter Biden was making money. I mean, what Hunter Biden made is a fraction of what one of Trump's children has earned. So it ain't that Trump is the first person doing this stuff. He is just far, far, far more egregious with it, doing it to a significantly greater level. I got to assume other presidents have taken gifts from foreign nations. Trump isn't the first person to do that. He takes a 747 though. So he's doing the same shit everybody else is doing. He's just doing it to this hugely egregious level. I'm assuming other presidents have ran businesses while being in the White House. Trump's taking it to a huge, insane level. Everything he's doing is grander, bigger, more out in the open. So it's getting more attention. Anyway, looking in the comments, tap the screen. Blessed love, brother Tim. Thank you, Johnny Black. Appreciate that. Tim Curry, not Tim Burton. Tim Curry passed. You're talking about that guy? Along with Dolly Parton yesterday, another one. Crazy thing is, before I go to the box for the next caller, I had one of my MAGA friends trying to argue with me that Dolly Parton was a conservative. What do you guys think? I don't see it. I do not see Dolly Parton being a conservative, but he was adamant. I was wrong. Rakeem, good evening. Welcome to the program, Rakeem. TikTok run by MAGA talk bad about Bone Spurs will cite you. Yikes. Somebody else in the comments, Wild One Forever said she was a conservative. I don't think she was a conservative. Based on what she stood for, I mean, she checks a lot of boxes. Remember when Charlie Kirk got taken out and all you needed to know was he had a trans friend and you were saying he was a liberal? The amount of boxes that Dolly Parton checks off to say she's not a conservative is insane. I definitely do not believe Dolly Parton was a conservative, but we'll move on. Tap the screen, help your boy out with the hat and mustache, TikTok cap goals. Got to ask you to do that. In the comments real quick, Dolly was a true conservative, a person I can love, says Kurt. Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute. And I'll see you that friend request on Twitch, Handsome Conservative. I do see that. Before we continue on, I'm talking about running a third time on a basketball court, a little bit different. Seriously, the pool, the ballroom, the freaking go. Yeah, he's putting his name on everything. I mean, Trump has done stuff to an astronomical level. It's just, there's no other way to describe it. He's done stuff at a significantly greater level than other presidents. And I'm not saying other presidents haven't done shit. It's just Trump's taking it to an astronaut. Yeah, you got his name all over Washington, D.C. Who else has done something like that? Putting big ass pictures of themselves up and stuff. James Harper, good evening.
What's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Question we're asking. I'm going to let you tackle this first. I didn't get into this that much on my last call. Give me 3 aspects of America you believe needs to be addressed or fixed immediately. 3 things that concern you most. Maybe it's women and men and women's basketball. What 3 things you believe are really serious that need to be addressed immediately?
None of that theatrical bullshit that MAGA propagates. One thing is education. Like every year, like our education takes a hit because they want to save money, and the first thing they do is take money out of schools.
My last caller made a good example of that. Education, okay, fair enough, and they do remove a lot of money from schools. I mean, well, Trump is getting rid of the whole board of education, but he's saying this because there's too much waste, fraud, and abuse in it.
No, he's getting rid of the board of education because he thinks that's free money that he can allocate to somewhere else.
Give me number 2.
Number 2 is the regulation of these companies, because ever since he's got it in the office, quality has done a skydive.
What do you mean?
On a lot of products. Like all that deregulation that he's been doing, now all of a sudden we have these pollution problems. We've got quality problems where like shit damn near breaks right after you buy it. Like,
is that something unique to Trump? Now you're saying corporate regulation. I'm going to assume I'm going to assume you thought we needed corporate regulation or companies being regulated before Trump came along, because that's probably been a growing problem. But what are you saying? You're saying pollution. What are you talking about?
Okay, so remember, before Trump got in, things like the EPA and OSHA had teeth. They can actually keep these companies in line where they're not just dumping shit around, or they're not being wasteful. But now that he's in there and he's like, oh, I'm going to deregulate all this stuff. Yeah, these companies are making money, but now as you're seeing now with like, especially with these data centers, electric bills the electric grid is getting overtaxed. You got people complaining about their well water and like their water supplies actually being polluted, those kind of things. And then when it comes to like our food quality, how is it that he gets in office and all of a sudden we have like this massive amount of recalls that we got to do because all this stuff that was previously being kept in check and not being allowed inside the country, all of a sudden all this stuff is like coming in now.
Is that unique to Trump though? Because we had an issue with eggs under President Biden. That was a huge issue under Biden, was eggs. I mean, so we had food that you couldn't fuck with then.
Yeah, we had that what is it, like a bird flu or something like that? Yeah. And what did they do? They held back on a product, and it took what, like a couple months for them to like the supply to come back up? Because I mean, how many eggs does a chicken lay in every week?
I don't know at all, but the price of eggs was up a lot more than a couple months. I mean, that went on for a lot longer than that.
And then also when Biden, a lot of things that Biden was going on, every time there's a disaster, yeah, prices go up, but they don't. How often do they really go back down to what it was before that disaster?
Well, and that's the corporate regulation angle of things, is that once they get you used to paying a higher price, like even Trump himself is complaining that the gas companies are gouging us. He's saying that the price of fuel should not be as high as it is right now. Now, I don't know if he's actually doing anything about it. He's telling people that he's going to go and demand that the fuel companies stop gouging and bring down the price of fuel. But he also campaigned on doing the same thing with the healthcare industry, and nothing came out of it because he said the healthcare industry was price gouging us as well. And if he got elected, he was going to make them be fair with the pricing. None of that happened. So, I mean, I agree with you. The prices don't come down.
In the same breath, he told them, hey, you give me money, I'm going to get rid of all these regulations so you make more money. So how is he going to let them make money but still tell them like, oh, you need to bring your prices down?
That's a problem. I mean, that is a problem. Listen, at the end of the day, one of the things I was saying, I heard this from a lot of my beloved MAGA, And while I thought it made a little bit more sense than I do now, which was Trump became president, and unlike many other presidents, he had a lot of his own money. So you didn't have to worry about him being on a take to the point where he wasn't even taking a salary. But now, hold on, hang on. Now we see that he is really hyper focused on making money. So that really turned out to be wrong.
Right. And the funny thing about what MAGA was saying, yeah, he didn't take the presidential salary, but he was making 10 times as much as that every time he went on one of his golf trips. And we all know he spent at least 25 to 30% of his first tour going on vacation.
How is he making 10 times more on a golf tour? I mean, he's entitled to unlimited vacations, basically. How is he making money from that?
Because he goes to his own properties and he charges the American government every time he goes to those properties. Yeah. Because remember, when he goes down there, all his staff has got to go down there, and it's Secret Service has got to go down there.
How the hell could that be legal? I mean, listen. How could you, if you got a hotel and you become president, how the hell can you say, I want to stay at my hotel and bring all the Secret Service detail to my hotel and then have your hotel charge the government? Clause. Huh?
It's a violation of the Monuments Clause. And then you got to remember, whenever he goes overseas, if he has a Trump property over there, then he makes his people stay at that Trump property, even if that means they got to travel almost an hour from there to the event that they're supposed to be going to.
Yeah, that's real bad. I mean, and you don't hear MAGA saying anything about that. You want to talk about this is what I said about all presidents make money off the position. But this is obviously way more than anything Hunter Biden made with Burisma. And you don't hear them say no. I mean, you should not be able to let them stay at your property. Your property should not be receiving government checks based on you having people stay there. That's crazy.
Yeah, and when you talk about that, you're talking about him and Burisma, but you don't talk about how Barron Trump, he was doing inside trading with his Bitcoin. Don Jr. and Eric Jr. both got drone companies, which miraculously after they became, I don't even think it was a week after they became the president on those, that both of those got government contracts. And those contracts were worth billions.
Yeah, you can't. There is no explanation for why 20-year-old Barron Trump is getting no bid drone defense contracts. I mean, that's really fucking bad. This dude ain't got that's what we were saying about Hunter Biden, is that he got a job that he had no experience for. That was the whole outcry about Hunter Biden. Barron Trump has no experience for this stuff. I mean, there's no way he should be getting that.
Exactly. Like none of the stuff that's going on. Like normally, like if this was Biden, MAGA would be in an uproar. They would be calling them the crime family, and these guys are abusing the office. But the first time Trump came in, what's the first thing he did? He put the presidential seal in Mar-a-Lago as product to be sold under their thing. At one point, he had the Resolute desk in Mar-a-Lago. Why? I have no idea.
Yeah, real quick in the comments, Alter Ego is saying it's not Barron. Are you suggesting, Alter Ego, that Barron Trump is not making any money at all off of a defense contract?
No, Barron was making money off of Bitcoin. It was Don Jr. and Eric that was doing the drones.
Okay, he's older than Barron Trump, but he still has no reason, he has no experience or anything to be doing that. So, okay, you change the name, that doesn't make anything different though. And in the comments,
you've been saying crazy shit this entire life. First thing you was talking about is the British Empire is trying to take over the world. The British Empire ain't been doing shit for 300 years. Why did you bring that up?
Who said that?
Snowbird.
Well, yeah, I see him in the comments.
The Prime Minister.
I see him in the comments
saying the Prime Minister of Canada is being controlled by the British Empire.
No, they are. Country. So was Australia, New Zealand. There's a bunch of countries, South Africa, but they are not controlled by the Brits. They are a Commonwealth country. In the comments, Snowbird also said, "Show us proof or shut up." What's funny about that? How could you be a Trump supporter talking about proof? You know what stuff Trump says that come with no proof? If you're voting for Trump, you can't ask for proof. Real quick, hang on a second, James. In the comments, Forever C10 said, "That's why I've been missing." James Harper. I haven't heard from you, brother. I love the James, Denkel, Mike DeBoss, Travelman, Lewis, love the Cruz, sharp men. And of course you, Tim. Goddamn, I'm in last, but I'll take it like Rosa Parks. So go ahead. Thank you forever.
But see, another thing that this crazy woman has said was the military asked Trump to run. That is
what?
The military.
What?
Who's this representative that asked Trump to run? Because she saw about, he said this in his inauguration. In Trump's mind, he's 6'3", 240 pounds. So anything he says is fucking out of this world.
And why would the military ask Trump? Well, I will say this. I don't know if the military asked Trump to run, but I'm sure there are people that are in the military that wanted President Trump to be the commander-in-chief. And I understand it. For what I always say, that Trump promised good shit. If he's promising to end wars and not start any new ones, there are going to be people in the military that's going to resonate with. That sounded good. No new wars under me, and I'm going to end as many of them as possible. That's what he campaigned on. So it would make sense.
And in 2 years, he's attacked more countries than other presidents done their entire 2 terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree that he campaigned on one thing and did the exact opposite. I mean, it's pretty clear. He changed the Secretary of, or the Department of Defense to the Department of War, and it's pretty obvious why he did it. Like, you planned on going to war a lot. I mean, because he's already said Cuba's next, and I mean, he planned on going to war a lot. But speaking of which, how do you stand with my statement earlier during the monologue that there are folks in this country that have what I call an American superiority complex, where they just think America's so superior that we can do anything we want globally, and people just have to take it because ultimately they all need us, and they're eventually going to come crawling back.
They're delusional. They're completely delusional. Because if they haven't been noticing, all the countries that we've been antagonizing that used to be our trade partners, they start trading amongst themselves and cutting us out. Like, it's getting to the point that what made us as strong as we were, because our dollar was the trade value for everybody. But the fact that Trump is doing all this stuff, he's making it possible for things like BRICS to take over being like the number one currency everywhere.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think because one of my MAGA friends I talk to all the time, that we get into debates, and he favors what Trump is doing because he says that even though it may not look good on its surface, the whole goal is to maintain the strength of the U.S. dollar. Do you believe what Trump is doing will ultimately keep the U.S. dollar on top? Doesn't sound like you do.
No, since he's been president this second term, we've already lost strength on the U.S. dollar. No. Like, all these tariffs and trade deals that he swore up and down he's getting, but we don't see not a near written document. Every country that he says he's got to deal with, they all say the same thing. I don't know what he's talking about. We haven't had no deals, or if he does say we have a deal, it's a deal that's already been done before he even showed up in office. Like, he has no idea what he's doing. He's that useful idiot that all you gotta do is compliment him and pat him on the back, and he'll go along with it, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, that absolutely seemed to have worked for Natalie Harper, whatever her name is, because that's the only reason she's in his circle. Is she's been doing exactly what you're talking about, patting him on the back and telling him what he wants to hear. So that does have some value to it.
I'm so glad you brought her up. Remember how all America was talking about Trump is the president with balls? How are you the president with balls, but you hiding in a container and getting snuck out of the goddamn country?
That's a great question. Wow, that's a great question. They have said that he went to meet North Korea with very little security. He met him on his terms. He ain't scared of Putin. They have said that he's the president with balls, and now he's hiding in a. Yeah, that's a great point. Wow.
He's hiding it in that, like, now everywhere he goes, he has to have like some kind of anti-air sitting there going with him because he's afraid they're going to shoot at him while he's golfing. Like, he's turned DC. DC is damn near under martial law with all the National Guard and all the extra security because he's afraid of the people that he done pissed off.
Yeah. Well, I think it's finding out that Iran has a lot more capabilities than Venezuela. I really believe that he greatly underestimated, at the behest of Netanyahu, perhaps, but I do believe he greatly underestimated Iran. I mean, we can beat Iran if we go full gung-ho, boots on the ground, nuclear weapons and shit like that. But outside of that, Iran apparently has a lot of options.
And Snowbird, if you've never been in the military, you can't talk about shit, because anywhere Air Force One goes, there is a squadron of jets that goes with it. Not to mention all of the anti-air capabilities that plane has. The fact that he decided to hide in another plane and run away under disguise tells you how much he's afraid of his own life. He should not be president.
Well, we can't go that far yet. We got to see what he's capable of. He got 2 more years. Trev, I got to move it on, James. You were missed. Come on back anytime. Thank you.
No problem, Tom.
Anytime. And by the way, I'm asking 3 to 5 things. I didn't get the third one from him. 3 things that you are concerned with and need to be addressed in this country immediately. 3 things that you believe we may be on the wrong path. It could be Biden related as well, because immigration is certainly something people think we're on the wrong path and that Trump is fixing that. I mean, it could be Biden related stuff as well. Could be LGBTQ stuff. There's a lot of anti-trans talk going around. A lot of folks believe the Muslim community is getting too many provisions. A lot of folks are afraid Sharia law. A lot of folks believe Sharia law is a major threat. So it's not just stuff happening under Trump, because some folks believe Trump is fixing some of those problems. So we're talking 3 to 5 things that America, you're concerned with in this country that need to be addressed immediately. In the comments, somebody said America is broken thanks to President Trump. Yikes. And there was a super chat I wanted to respond to that disappeared. And I do apologize if you sent the super chat and I didn't read it, because YouTube has moved it off the screen. I just was looking at it. But continuing on to help you boy with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goes. You guys know how we do it. America is back. United States is done, says Smokey. Smokey, you say it like no other. When you say America is back, obviously you're talking about the other nations on the continent, on the North and South American continent. He says America is back. United States is done. Yikes. God, I never felt so small in my life. Yikes. Tap the screen. As I said, help you boy with the hat and mustache. Get us up to 80,000. Instead of trying to fix the country, they want to just destroy the whole world. What would be the purpose of that? What would be the purpose of destroying the world you live in? I'd be curious to know. United States has fallen from 3rd to 12th on the ranking of nations. Well, I would be curious to know what metrics they use to rank the countries, but I can believe it. I mean, there's a whole lot of error. I think America, we probably are near the top in terms of being able to climb the social status ladder, and it's getting harder to do that. But America still is one of those countries where you can be born dirt poor. Let's take J.D. Vance, for instance, or even the late Dolly Parton now. You can be born impoverished and you can climb the ladder. Sky is the ceiling. It is harder now to do that, though, as the years have went on. My first guest, Smokey, talking about the lack of corporate regulation and greed. It's harder to do it, but you still can do it. I think we rank high in that area. But once you get away from being able to acquire wealth, other countries start dominating us. Happiness index, healthcare, education, life expectancy, literacy rates. I mean, there's a lot of things that we get dominated, lifespan, all of that kind of stuff. We're not number 1 in any of that stuff. But a lot of Americans think we are. We're not. Freedom, we're not number 1 in that either. A lot of Americans, we're the most free country on earth. No, you're not. Tap the screen, looking in the comments, name a better country and why you don't live there. Well, first of all, Aaron, I'll tell you the number one thing in regards to, you said, name a better country why you don't live there. It's not easy to migrate. Migration from, look, let's say, for instance, you decided, or let's say I decided Sweden is a better country than America. And by the way, I do think Sweden has a whole lot of aspects that is better than, I can't just pick up and go to Sweden. Not only does it cost a lot of money, that there's no guarantee they'll let me in. Certainly at my age, I don't have any, I'm not a physician or a nuclear scientist. You can't just fucking leave. And MAGA needs to understand it because they're always telling people to leave the goddamn country. You can't just leave your country and go to where you want to go. There's a lot of other countries that have border security just like Trump is providing in America. So you can't just leave like that. But it sounds good for you guys to say that. Yes, because they control the borders. That's why they have nice stuff. Now, we had nice stuff in this country when you were claiming that Biden was for open borders. We still had nice stuff. Immigrants ain't coming here and taking away your shit. If somebody break in your house and steal your shit, there's a really, really good chance, sky high, if you're a betting man, poly market, bet your money that person was born in America and they are a U.S. citizen. That's who is fucking with most Americans. It ain't immigrants. Somebody do something to you, as chances are they are an American citizen. Going back to the box, Stick the Ruler. Good evening, Stick. In the comments, it's not just the cost of maintaining our troops and equipment out there, and worst of all, the cost of all the damage to Iran has inflicted. And they don't talk about the damage Iran has inflicted. They do not talk about that. Stick, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. We're going to talk about the simple question in regards to fixing America. Well, first of all, do you think there's any issues with America? Or do you think maybe Trump has us going down the right path?
No, I mean, when the country's insolvent, because this country always wants to talk about money, they don't want to address the racism problem. So if we're going to talk about money, let's talk about money. We're insolvent. Just like your previous guest came up and told us about the Constitution and how we look at it and perceive it, and it's not nowhere near what you think it is. However, the people that are in Congress / the Senate have to do their job for it to be complete as it's written. So if they're not doing their job, then he's just mulling over. And then on top of that, if the Supreme Court do the same thing in a sense, rule in his favor, then it is what it is.
Well, I mean, look, some of the stuff you're talking about, we've always been like that, right? Where the Senate or Congress hasn't, like we talk about open borders under Biden. Obviously the government was not doing their job. Like that's always going to be the case where it's never going to be a perfectly ran country, is it?
Well, we're talking about a country where the founding so-called fathers that stole the Constitution in its entirety from the indigenous folks, they said something while doing something else. In other words, we the people, and then you turn around and say all are created equal or to be treated as equal while having slaves. So, none of that shit makes any sense, Tim. No. And for now today to be interpreted that, yes, we're all are free or we're all are considered to be equal, but then you still got to come around every 25 years to vote on people, voting rights that look like me and you. Every 25 years, they got to vote on that. Why can't it be if we were born in this country, we just get the same rights as everybody else? What is that now?
Just cue us in. What exactly are they voting on? You're saying since the Civil Rights Act, what he said, every 25 years they vote to make sure they vote to see whether or not people of color are going to have civil rights?
No, not civil rights. Voting. Yeah, to be able to vote. Every 25 years, they go over the Voting Rights Act, right? And they Congress and everybody, they say, okay, yeah, y'all can still vote. Why do we have to have that when you just say, well, you're a citizen and we're going by the Constitution and we're going by the Bill of Rights and anything else we got going on, and the language says persons born. Why are we talking about immigration? It's persons born. Just like your guest said, it's person. It doesn't say he or she. It doesn't say gender. It doesn't say any of that. It says person.
Yeah, so we've talked about that on the program before, and yeah, I do have to agree. Why is that coming up every 25 years? Either everybody has the right to vote or they don't. Why do you have to keep reviewing whether you're going to extend their voting rights, unless there's a possibility that one of these days we're going to take it away from them.
Yeah, that's the whole point. We can pick and choose just like he's doing now. Yeah, we don't really want you to know that. Oh yeah, y'all calculated the numbers to get to the moon. Yeah, we don't really want y'all to know that. Oh, y'all had the Tuskegee Airmen and the Red Tails that defended this country and also never lost the plane. Yeah, we don't want to tell y'all that. It's so many things that this administration is showing how racist he is. You know, I served this country in the military, and then to turn around and he gets the presidency, and then the first thing he do is go purge all the black generals and shit. Man,
well, he didn't purge them all. He didn't purge them all, Stick. Don't you're making sure about this be a little bit worse than he didn't purge.
Listen, when it comes down to top leadership, yeah, he purged them. He purged them all. Top leadership. Not when I ain't talking about no majors. I ain't talking about no damn colonels and shit. I'm talking about maybe colonels that were supposed to be generals. Yeah, look. Either stay a colonel or retire. We're not giving y'all rank, right? We're talking about 4-star generals. One of them was in the Air Force. Ask P. Hegseth, hey, are you gonna get rid of such? Oh no, I think me and him we got a good relationship. Da da da. A week later, hey man, you get your ass up out of here, your black ass up out of here. Like that's what they doing. So I'm not gonna sit back and just say, oh, everything's hunky dory. He ain't no, he is. He's prejudiced. He's biased. He's racist. He's part of racism. He is the system. He's the system.
He's not the socialism or the communism.
No, he's all of that. See, he is the one that can combine capitalism with communism and be a dictator while also being a Führer and anything else that's bad and horrible. Sultan, I don't give a damn what he want to call himself. Emperor. Yeah, he king.
Well, he's made it. I think he's openly stated people like dictators or something like that. And in the comments, Facts Only says, I just can't believe minorities are still supporting this administration. It's obvious how they feel. Ooh. Let's just move on.
Tim.
Go ahead.
No. Don't run.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
Don't fluff.
You didn't say that. Wait. That is somebody's comment.
It was said on the live. Listen, it was said on the live. I don't want you to fluff from this. Okay?
I didn't fluff.
Now,
I did not fluff.
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Sure.
The scenario is this: you finna go to a Trump rally, right?
I've been to a couple.
I know, and that's exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. On your way to the Trump rally, you notice that the street, which is a major intersection, is split into two factions. One faction is MAGA. Mm-hmm. The other faction is the left and or Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Right?
What are you getting at?
So as you're walking down the street, before you get to, where they're actually like in a Soul Train line, before you get up to the Soul Train line,
all right,
you notice on the right side of the street, you notice that you see people with the crooked cross.
Ooh.
And small mustaches.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That shit ain't that Trump rally. Hold on, hang on. Hold on. Ain't nobody with a crooked cross at a Trump rally. They don't show up with that stuff.
Okay. So again, do you know that those type of people support Trump? Do you know that?
I believe that, but they're not out in the open doing that.
No. But so again, in my vision, me being me, and I know it, but I'm playing you. You know it as well. So again, you see the crooked crosses, you see the black boots with the white shoestrings and the bald heads and the black jackets. Then you see the other people dressed up as big Boy Scouts, with the blue shirts and the tie and the tan pants with the mask on. You see all of those people and you understand and know who they are and what they represent. And then on the left side, you see black people, you see Asian folks, you see white folks, you see the community in the sense of the LGBTQ, with how IAs, however they say that, and then you also have people that were veterans and in the military and disabled.
No veterans on the MAGA side. No veterans on the MAGA side.
No. Those are the fake patriots.
Come on. You painting that's not real. That's not real. You're painting MAGA out to be way worse than they actually are.
I don't listen. They are, because they attacked the Capitol, and if any of them was veterans, you swore to uphold and defend the Constitution and to make sure that that doesn't happen. So if you was a veteran, just like Ashley Babbitt, that's weird, right?
Yeah.
She went in there and did that, knowing and understanding that you are there to protect and defend the Constitution, not some person that told you he just don't happen to be the president, but your service never told you to do some unlawful ass shit like that.
Ashley Babbitt she got caught up in the moment.
No, ain't no caught up in the moment. And then we got okay, so we always do on the other lives that I be on, we do why are white teen men so violent in the United States, right? We also do why are white teen women so violent in the United States.
What?
And to show, and to show the violence, I want you to think about this.
Wait a minute. All of the Negroes doing drive-bys and shit in the hood, you gonna say white men about? What the hell? Okay, correct. Help me out. Help me, make me understand.
See, now that's why I did that damn post when I was bored. That's why I did that shit. So
help me understand this.
I'm gonna help you understand the violence. We got women dressed up in pink right now, defending a woman that unalived her babies and then try to unalive herself by jumping out the window. However, she only ended up paralyzed. They're out there protesting with pink shirts on about this bitch. So all I'm saying is this.
Wait. You don't think we do stuff like that too? We don't go out there and protest on behalf of criminals. Carmelo Anthony stabbed somebody unnecessarily. It looks like stabbed the guy, and the kid died. We out there defending him.
Listen. Lesson that y'all white tea folks need to understand and learn. Keep your motherfucking hands to yourself.
Oh my God. You can't kill somebody because they pushed you. You can't. If somebody pushes you, you can't murder them.
He was in Texas just today, right? There's a DJ down here in Tampa. He got on the live a couple of months back, right? How about they said that the person that unalived him had the reasonable doubt that bodily harm could happen, so he had the right to stand his ground.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I want you to think about this now. Now the DJ is black. The person who did it, I believe, is like Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Considered to be white tea, pretty much. He perceived. So you mean to tell me I could be walking down the street, see a 10-year-old little white kid, and I perceive him to be dangerous, because little Timmy's go to fucking do school shootings and shit. See? So again, white tea women are violent. She
you saying shit
she jumped out the window.
No, you're just saying shit to make it sound like you don't like white people. Hold on. First of all, I like the way the court system. If you did something under the perception your life was in danger, make your case in court. If the jury rules in your favor, but if they don't, you lose.
They never went to trial. Is my point.
What are you talking about?
They never even went to trial.
Carmelo Anthony did.
No, you talking about Carmelo Anthony. I'm talking about this what happened here in Tampa, in my state, in Florida.
Okay.
They never went to trial. So my whole point of it is, damn, so now white tea perceived men, because you got Latino white tea passing. So at the end of the day, anybody that's white tea passing, what you're telling me is they can perceive me to be a threat and they can just unalive me?
Alter ego. Now, I'm going to say that we've had some African Americans kill white people under the perception that they were in danger too and get away with it.
Who Tell me who. Tell me.
The guy, the African American in the Waffle House. He was sitting in the Waffle House. 3 white guys came in there talking racist shit. One of them hit him in the face. He had a 44 on him. He shot the guy in the stomach, and the guy died.
So you're what you're saying is the other guy hit him, and then he bombastically got his ass up out of here. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, he shot him. Yeah, shot him.
I'm talking about they said he perceived, not that he got touched, hit.
Well, then I'll give you another example. The African American woman in Florida, your state, where the white guy was walking up on her. He never touched her. They fighting over a fucking parking space. He never touched her. She shot and killed him, and she hasn't been sent to jail. She's gotten away with it.
So hold on. So again, you're talking about somebody that's pulling up, that has their
You said touch.
way out.
You said touch.
No. Listen. No. See, you went straight to bombastic. I ain't went to straight bombastic. I'm going to straight. I'm giving you a chance to live, and you keep walking towards me while I got this big 4-5 pointed at you.
You said perceived their life was in danger. Now you're moving the bar. I'm simply saying there are African Americans that have taken the lives of white people. And this woman is a good example of a woman that was allowed to take a guy's life, and he never touched her. She perceived, and I understand why she perceived it, but I understand why she perceived it because he kept walking upon her. But what I'm saying is just like in some of these other cases, she hadn't been touched.
So being that you don't know, just like at this point, like Michael Rax don't know, you don't even know that the man was in his car. The man that got unalived, the black man that got unalived was in his car. He wasn't jumping the curb. He wasn't revving his engine. He didn't have his.
He didn't touch her, Stick. You said somebody who shot somebody because they perceived they were in danger.
Listen what I'm saying. You don't know that this man was just driving. He was going the speed limit. He wasn't revving up his engine. He didn't have it aimed towards anybody. He was riding by.
What is your point?
See, you don't know the whole point of it is there was so many people riding by, but somehow this guy just get pew-pew. Come on, Tim.
I'm just telling you. The point I'm making is you made it sound like no African American can perceive their life as in danger and take the life of a white guy. When I gave you an example, now you're adding things on it that you didn't say at first.
You didn't allow me to say it. You just immediately went with the fluff. You immediately went with the MAGA reacts. You immediately went to do the thing that you do. Now, mind you, I could have got upset. I could have got mad. You know what I did? I told you why I did that. I said exactly what I said. That's the reason why when I was bored, I did that damn video. That's what I said. And then I tried to move it on because guess what, Tim? When you go to fluffing, you turn into somebody else.
Oh
and
my
that's why
God.
comes up here and give your ass the business. So I'm gonna gracefully bow out and hope that not after me, but maybe after the next caller, that she does just that. And you have a nice day, sir.
Stick is always a pleasure. Nothing but love for you. You're wrong, but nothing but love for you. Thank you. Yes.
The day you reserve. I know she gonna give you the day you deserve.
I gotta go. I'll leave it at that. All right, Stick. Tap the screen, get the likes on in the comments. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goes. No love today. No rest for the weary. We the Rebel says we don't see any of that, but imagine if you did. What do you mean, we the Rebel? Imagine if you saw what you said. We don't see any of that, but imagine if you did. I'm kind of wondering what you are referring to. We'll go in the comments real quick. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. In the comments, Aaron Nee, he was not. Look at the footage from the media guy. They were pointing their guns at protesters. Lasers were recorded on the chest of people on strike. I don't know which case you're talking about. David knows audio. You said Kyle Rittenhouse should have been held accountable. No, David, I got to disagree. Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. I absolutely believe if Kyle Rittenhouse in that situation was unarmed He was about to face some serious bodily harm. One guy tried to drop kick him or use a skateboard. One guy, the first guy he took the life of was trying to disarm him. That right there is about as much of a deadly threat as you can get. I mean, somebody's trying to take your gun from you. The first guy he took the life of was trying to disarm him. The second guy I think he took the life of was trying to drop kick him with a skateboard or something like that and hit him. And then, of course, he took the life of another guy that was nearby that had a pistol in his hand that was in that situation also. So, look, I'm not going to defend Kyle Rittenhouse making dumb action after dumb action. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there doing that. But then again, you could make the same argument to a whole lot of folks that were rioting. But he shouldn't have been there. He put himself in a dangerous situation and ultimately got lucky. But I do believe he acted in self-defense. Somebody like George Zimmerman I don't think George Zimmerman acted in self-defense. Now, George Zimmerman is somebody I do think should be in jail because he instigated the situation. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't instigate the situation. He's there with a firearm. That doesn't mean he's instigating people to fuck with him like that. Certainly, he's not instigating anybody to disarm him. What George Zimmerman did, chasing somebody in the middle of the night with a firearm on you because you have judged him to be a thief incorrectly. Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman, yeah, he absolutely should have been held accountable for what he did. But I think Kyle Rittenhouse, although stupid, maybe you want to hold his mom accountable for taking him to some shit like that. How could she not realize you may be putting your son in danger? You're going to put him in the middle of a riot, an African-American riot with a gun. I mean, at the very least, he may have to shoot some people. Like, why would you drop your son off in that shit? So to me, his mom, what she did was terrible for a parent to do. Anyway, let me go back to the comments. Kyrie, in the comments here, tap the screen. Tim, is Clarence Thomas your daddy? I'm on here talking about hat and mustaches. You think I got a daddy that's a Supreme Court justice? Get the fuck out of here with that. No one complains about cops not doing their job in the Kyle case. What do you mean cops not doing their job? To me, the cops were trying to railroad Kyle Rittenhouse. They were trying to withhold evidence and everything. They saw Kyle Rittenhouse as a way to make a mark, maybe with the liberal community, maybe with Black Lives Matter, maybe with the African-American community. They actually was trying to railroad Kyle Rittenhouse. But they were trying to get that man, life or some lone sentence. Yeah, what they were doing to Kyle Rittenhouse is wrong. And I think Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong for being there with a firearm, but what they did to Kyle Rittenhouse was wrong, in my opinion. In the comments, bro, the judge paused for Kyle because he was crying. That's not justice. That's special treatment. You really think the judges never pause for somebody when they're crying? Only Kyle Rittenhouse, huh? I don't know about that. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button. Helps out the algorithm indeed. Smash that like button if you're watching us on YouTube. Going back to the box, we'll make it happen with Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Gangsta.
Boy. Isn't your whiteness is just dripping?
What the fuck?
Just dripping,
Oh,
dog.
my God.
You are truly a sickening Uncle Ruckus. Like, yes, massa. I promise you, we would have left your ugly ass behind and kept you in the house and been a house Negro because you are the most fluffiest big boy ever.
What am I?
Yes,
How?
you are.
Give me an
I
example.
get why you got divorced and shit, because I can't. I could never.
Yes, you
I
could.
need my divorce papers.
Yes, you
I could
could.
never
Yes, you
be with
could.
a man like you. You Uncle Fluffy, Uncle Ruckus, you a scumbag. You sell us out, dog, for real.
As this man often says, yes, you can. What have I done? How am I fluffing? What have I said? Help me out.
You are the biggest fluffer ever. A pawpaw on the line, a black man, didn't do nothing, and you're trying to make excuses. You Uncle fucking Ruckus? You are. You're the ultimate Uncle Ruckus. And that's why I see why the napkins like your ugly ass. Because they can do anything to you. They can bring whips to you, and they will tell you, you know what?
Wait.
Yeah, sweetheart.
You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
you
They
said
will bring
you
the whip.
you said
They'll
you
put you in the
see.
street.
Oh my God! You said you see why the napkins like my. What is a napkin?
You know what, fool? If you don't know what a napkin is,
I don't know what a napkin is. I do not know. Well, why
you
do
do know what a napkin is? It's a napkin. Yep, and what color is that napkin? It ain't no blue. It ain't no black. It's a napkin. Yes.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
You be kissing the napkin faces, for real.
It's good for what? What are you trying to say?
I could never kiss napkins.
What are you trying to say? Why are you you're saying the napkins like me? Why would this napkin like me?
Why? Because you're Uncle Ruckus, you're a ratty raccoony, you are the poster boy of a house ninja. Yes.
Now
go get the whips. Shit.
Is this napkin represented by a group of people?
You know what that represents.
I mean,
don't be stupid.
I don't know. I'm trying to find. You said I've never heard somebody tell me napkins like me. I'm trying to figure out what are you talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. You know your little napkin homies be over there.
What is a napkin homie?
Yes, you know we like you. Oh, we'll take you. We'll take you to. You're welcome at our boxes with the raisins.
Alter ego. What is a napkin homie? I need some information. Help me out.
Let me tell you this, Tim. You know why you're selling us out? Because you a ratty raccoonie? You know what I mean?
Selling you out to who?
They don't like you.
Selling you who is they? Selling you out to who? Who are they?
The napkins don't like you.
How can I sell you out to a piece of paper? See, you got napkin cellular.
You're trying to be so
No, I'm trying to be investigative. I want to know, what is a napkin homie? Help me out.
Wait a minute. You just said you want to be an investigator?
Yeah.
Boy, you're the definition of the police. Oh my God, you're so worried about black on black crime, but the white tee on white tee crime, buddy, is going outrageous, and they be putting more of us in the trees. What are you talking about, dog? And you all there still lapping like a dog. Lap.
I want to, and by the way,
that's what you're good for.
By the way, in the comments, Derek Fanyo over on YouTube, he says, bring you up. You got to be on Instagram, Clapper, TikTok, or Substack. If you got any of those apps, the handsome, can I talk to the guests? Hang on.
Yeah, go talk to your napkin.
What is a napkin? What is a napkin?
You know what a napkin is.
I don't know what a napkin is. I don't know. I do not know what a napkin is.
Well, I'm sorry if you don't know what a napkin is. You ain't black. How about that?
What are you, Joe Biden now?
I'm not no Joe Biden.
That's what you sound like. Are you a presidential?
Thank you.
Are you a presidential napkin? Are you a presidential napkin? You sound like Joe Biden.
I wish I could be the president, because I will put you in with the white.
I want to know what a napkin is. What is a napkin?
Boy, Tim, you just think you cute, don't you, Tim? You just think you so cute with your fluffing ass. Over here thinking, you gotta make it for everything. And try to justify the po-pos unaliving us. You know what? You're the type of Negro that would justify why we're still being in the trees.
How did I justify?
For every damn reason. You know why? Because the napkins are. You want to be a napkin so bad, don't you, Timmy? You just want to be a napkin so bad, don't you? Don't you, Timmy?
Alter ego said.
I wipe my ass with the napkin. Okay, that's what it is. I wipe my asses with toilet paper and napkins. Same color, right? Yeah.
Alter ego says we're calling people napkins right now. Do you realize that makes you sound racist?
You think I give a fuck?
No, because you're racist. You are a racist. You are a racist. Yes, you are.
They are racist. Do you realize that they are coming for us? They're putting us
We
in
the
trees
rebel,
right
says
now.
Uncle Fluff.
The same people
We the
that
rebel.
voted for this shit. The same people that voted for this shit voted for hate. They voted for this shit.
What are you
They
doing?
knew what he was all about.
But you're
I'm not racist.
you're doing what you're doing is hate.
They voted for this shit.
What
Yeah, you guys are racist.
By the
I'm
way,
calling you asses out. You napkin ass booty scratcher.
I had a poll on my live the other day, and I asked my viewers, simple question: is Gangsta Grandma a racist? Over half the viewers said you're racist.
I don't get Tim. See, unlike you, I don't give a fuck what the white man thinks about me. See, unlike you, I don't pander to the white tea man. Unlike you, I stand my 10 toes down and I call him out and I tell him, yeah, you a bunch of racist asses. You're the one that put us in the situation. You don't like our black and brown asses, and kiss my black ass. That's what I say. You? Yes, massa. Oh, come on to my show. You let them dog you out. You let them call you colored. You let them call you the N-word. You let them call
What
you
is what are you doing?
You let them do all that shit because you want to have validation for the white tea man.
You just
Shut your ass up.
you're gonna
Shut
tell
your
me
ass up.
you're gonna tell me I let the white man call me out. Listen, you just told me I was making love to napkins. I mean, what is that?
You're dripping napkins, Pookie. You like tons of hockey in their asses. You like it in the ass without the lube. That's what you like. See, and I'm supposed to be a woman. I'm supposed to be doing this shit. But see, I'll never let a napkin touch me. I'm a virgin. I'll be a straight lesbian for that shit ever happens.
Okay, another term. What is tonsil hockey?
Well, you know what? If you don't know what tonsil hockey is, I mean, Negro, I think you need to go back to sex ed, okay? Because, honey, then you're vanilla for real. If you don't even know what tonsil hockey is, I can't fuck with you for real, dog. Because let me break this shit down again.
Help me out. Help me out.
Vanilla.
Help me.
Even your sex life is gonna be fucking vanilla. Everything about you is vanilla. Basic ass vanilla.
So what would you prefer?
Vanilla. Your skin color's vanilla. Your attitude is vanilla. You're a sellout queen. I mean, come the fuck on. And by the way, before I forget, Dolly Parton was never a conservative. She was riding for the blue. Because you know why? Because she was LGBT friendly. She loved our black asses for real. She gave $10 million to black communities in Tennessee. I never see fucking Donald Duck over there doing shit for us. Only putting us in fucking trees. Thank you.
Well, Trump ain't putting nobody in a tree, but I will say I agree with you.
People,
Trump ain't putting nobody in no fucking tree. Quit that.
Yes, master. Go get that.
Wait. Where's your proof at? Where's your proof at?
His people, the ones that voted for him, is putting us in trees. Well, why is all of a sudden black men getting unalive in the trees, fruiting us? Why is that?
So you're suggesting that African Americans are being placed in trees, and you're blaming that somehow on Trump.
How many has been so far? It has.
I don't know.
Recent one a few days ago. You know why you don't know? And you say you black. Negro, please. You a white tea man undercover. You know, like Whoopi Goldberg, like that one movie where he what was it? Patrick Swayze. Yeah,
Ghost.
dog.
Ghost.
But at least Patrick Swayze. Yeah, Ghost. Boy, you were undercover fucking white tea man. For real, dog.
Okay.
Oh,
based on what you said, and I see we the Rabble said I better step it up, get away from the vanilla and get butter pecan. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, we the Rebel.
Fucking flavor. You know, we had to do butter pecan back in the damn day. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
We had to do butter pecan back in the damn day. I love me some butter pecan, but at least it had some damn fucking flavor. I like chocolate. I like anything but the fucking vanilla.
Vanilla is delicious.
I know I got me some color. You know what? I got me some color on my skin. At least when I go on against a white wall, you can see my happy ass. You don't gotta say boo to me.
By the way, vanilla is my favorite flavor, but
I know it was.
It's good ice cream.
Everything vanilla. You would swap it down. You would love to fuck the snow roach. You would do a snow roach any damn day over a black fucking woman. You know, another thing is about you, you would sell out. You really would. You would sell us out. If the slavery was to happen again, you would be the type of Negro that would sell us out, call the po-po on us, because you know why? Black on black crime. Aren't you afraid of us? Get the fuck out of here. When it's the white tea man that's the most dangerous of them fucking all. Go fucking figure.
Snow roach,
napkins.
napkins.
Buttermilk biscuits that spoil. Yes.
Uncooked protein.
Because I have no respect for maggots. Now, my allies I got respect for, not the maggots. I would throw them. I would throw more. And I promise you, if I had an ally on fire and a maggot on fire, I'll throw more gasoline on the maggot and save my fucking ally.
Okay, let's move on from your racism and I want to ask you.
I'm not racist.
Yes, you
I'm not. See, Tim, just between me and you,
You
I
are
don't need
racist.
validation.
You
I'm
are
If I
racist.
was racist, I would have liked my allies, you numbnut.
You
I
are.
do
There
not
is.
like the maggots.
If I
do
take
not
your
like
statements,
the maggot. Tim, I'm not like you.
you
I don't
are
know this
racist.
thing.
I know because I'm not
I'm not
racist.
like you, Tim.
You
I'm
are
not the one that
racist.
took on a white man. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. No.
If I
I
took
don't
your
like
statements,
maggots.
you racist. If I took your statements, if
If
I took exactly what you say, you can deny it. You can deny it all you want. You can deny it all you want. You racist.
Ratty raccoon. You a ratty raccoon. How
Okay.
about that? You a Uncle Ruckus. You the type of Negro that will sell us to the fucking first damn white boy that you can find. You a
They took down my guess. I'm surprised they didn't take her down sooner. Look, we believe in free speech, but I can't control the TikTok app. Here, let me just say it like this, because she's going to deny she's racist all day, every day. But let me find a Caucasian person saying exactly the same shit she is saying, just against African Americans that she's saying against white people. I don't think there will be anybody in the African American community that would not say that person is racist. Everybody would be saying that person that talks like that is saying all that stuff, is racist. But because she's doing it, suddenly gets downgraded to something else. Yeah, she's racist. She's absolutely racist. Look, I enjoy talking to all my guests, but she's racist. She don't like white people. And then when you question, well, I'm only talking about the maggots. No, you're tired of talking about them all. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 120,000. Like I said, if I get an African American on my screen, on my show, that is openly critical of the other side as she is, and I know Magriax or Jeremy or particularly Gen X says some stuff, to me, what she says is stronger. She got nicknames and everything for them. I know my audience would go ape shit if I had a white person on here saying the same stuff she is saying against the African American community. Nobody would be saying that what she is saying is what that person is saying is not racist. You favor gangster grandma. I get it. Before I go to the next caller, I'll just say this. I often ask, considering that I don't care if a veteran is 90 years old, if you fuck with Old Glory, the U.S. flag, I don't care if a veteran is 90 years old, he'll get off his ass and try to do something about it. He fought for that flag. He defended that flag. He doesn't tolerate people fucking with the flag. But when you go through southern areas preaching hate while waving the Confederate flag, the same people that say that's all about their pride and heritage, they do nothing. They don't do anything. You can wave around the Confederate flag preaching hate all day, every day. And the same folks who say it's all about their family, their pride and heritage, they won't say nothing to you. They only show up when you're talking about taking down statues or removing the flag. So they know how to protest. They don't protest people preaching hate because they agree. I'm tying this in against the grandma and how you folks saying she's not racist. Confederate flag supporters don't protest or speak out against people waving their flag, preaching hate, because they agree with it. It's that simple. They agree with what the people are saying. Same way most of my viewers that are African American do not think Gangsta Grandma is racist. They agree with it. Very similar to the people waving the Confederate flag and the Confederate lovers saying nothing about it. I got a lot of African American. Well, no, she's not racist. Because you agree with what she's saying. You wouldn't agree with it if she was saying it about an African American or the black community, but you agree, just like the Confederates would not agree with what the hate folks are saying if they were saying it about the white community. They would suddenly not like it anymore. So I get pushback on this from all sides. And I understand I'm on an unpopular island with this, but I do have the ability to see racism from anywhere it comes from. I don't give certain groups a pass when they're being racist. I know you can say some pretty racist shit about African Americans, and MAGA's going to say it's not racist. Gangsta Grandma says some really racist shit about white people, and my African American audience is trying to say it's not racist. I can see it. I can see it when it's coming at me. Call it fluffing, call it whatever the hell you want, but I know damn well if she was saying that about African Americans, you guys would have a problem with it. Anyway, let me go back to the box, and somebody says racism is American culture. Yeah, it's about American as apple pie. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 130, if you will. Help you boy with the hat. I don't think I'm going to get many hat mustache TikTok cap goes with this show. I can see that. But it happens. Look, if I'm unpopular, I'm unpopular. That's what free speech is all about. I get guests that oftentimes are unpopular. We don't censor you because you have a controversial or unpopular opinion. Everything she was saying about me was not popular to me, but I do believe in letting her speak and anybody else. In the comments, what was that? Rogario? What was the name? I don't want to butcher your name there. Rogario 38. Thank you for the hat mustache. Thank you very much. Going to the comments real quick. Tim, a lot of stuff you say about black people sounds racist. But you were in the comments saying nothing she said was racist. You were one of the ones, Pobo, saying that she's not racist. I don't know, maybe your judgment meter is off. If you can see what I'm saying about African Americans and you believe that's racist, but you don't see any racism in what she's saying about white people, you need to recalibrate your racism meter. In the comments, I love the gangster. I love the grandma. I love the gangster grandma. I love when she stand up to ignorant blizzard men like you. Damn, there's another one. Blizzard. It's a new term of the day. I love when she stands up to ignorant blizzard men like you and saying, I'm a MAGA man. Look at me rapping, grandma, you racist. No, she's not. You're ignorant man. Bobby, there's some grammatical issues with your writing, but I do appreciate the input. We don't agree. I think you're crazy, but you're always welcome to state your opinion. In the comments here, now they're illegal aliens for, I don't know what that says, but we'll continue on. You need to go search your comments because I've never said she wasn't racist. You've defended her many times, Pogo. What does Confederate flag stand for? To me, hate. It's like asking what the swastika stands for. The swastika existed before Hitler and the Third Reich came along. But now when you see that symbol, you think of hate. Got nothing to do with it. They don't got anything to do with what its previous context now is completely overruled. This Make America Great, this slogan was around before Trump ever got involved in politics. I think it goes back to Reagan or Nixon. It goes back. But from now on, this slogan belongs to President Trump. Anytime you hear or see this slogan for the rest of your life, you're not going to think of Reagan or Nixon. You're going to think of President Trump. The same way the swastika makes you think of the Third Reich. And as far as I'm concerned, the Confederate flag means hate. That's the folks primarily waving that now. Like I said, you got folks that are represent hate groups waving it, and then you got a whole bunch of other people waving it that don't seem to have any problem with the hate groups. So it's hate. You're going to show up when they want to take down a Confederate statue and protest. You're going to protest when they're talking about you can't wave a Confederate flag. But when somebody decides to do a protest in town square, standing on the steps wearing masks and preaching all kinds of hatred, you're nowhere to be found? Yeah, you want that shit to remain present, but you're okay with what they're doing. Represents hate to me. Clearly, the folks who support the Confederate flag know how to protest. They showed up in Charlottesville when they were talking about taking down the Confederate flag back in 2017. They've showed up many times. When Nikki Haley removed it from the state capitol building there, they showed up to protest. But when it comes to hate, they're nowhere to be found. So I'm left with one assumption. They don't agree with taking down the flag or taking down the statues. They don't have a problem with the hate. That's the way I look at it. Until I see something else, as far as I'm concerned, it is a symbol of hate. Looking in the comments, though, so please stop lying that Democrats are the party of racist After Truman pushed for civil rights, the solid South began what ultimately culminated in Nixon winning the. You're talking about the party switch. I acknowledge that. Let me go back to the box. Somebody said, I think you're confusing. No, we're easy to understand. I'm going to bring on somebody that make it even easier for you to understand. One and only Gen X. Good evening, Gen X. If he came on, I don't know if he came up or not. We were trying to bring up Gen X. Gen X might be easier to understand. If you don't understand me, you would understand Gen X. He didn't come up. We'll go to MAGA Reacts. We do want to bring up some flavor. This might help you understand. MAGA, good evening.
No, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. I'm in the trenches today, man. Folks are calling me a sellout and all kinds of other crazy shit. I didn't get any money, so I don't know who I sold out to.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the racist ones, so just let them be racist and call it a day.
You told me I like napkins. What is a napkin?
I don't fucking know. She makes up all these fucking prison terms, and she's like, no, it's not prison. It's not prison. And then she literally says it's prison fucking shit. You know? Like eating at their table, all that shit's prison talk, and she even admits to it half the time.
Well, I will give her credit. She is about as creative with nicknames as President Trump. She's actually good with that. She don't know what a lot. I mean, they're racist.
She's probably better than
They're
Trump.
racist as hell, but she's good with nicknames. I mean, napkins. She said your dicks look like uncooked protein sausages and shit. I mean, she got a lot of good nicknames. She's good.
I don't know what protein she's eating, but I've never seen any protein look like dick.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you. I mean, I put a picture of Trump's associate, what is her name, Natalie Harper or whatever, up, and she told me the bride was so white she blended in with the wall. So
Hey, hold on. I got to mute for a second.
looking in the comments real quick. Republican Party of old is the Democrat Party of today, and vice versa. Anybody denying a party switch is just trying to play games with history. I mean, you think about what the people in the South stood for versus what the people in the North stood for, and that has not changed over tradition. I mean, it would make no sense that the Republicans being the party of abolition. Why would all the former slave owners all of a sudden become abolitionists? That doesn't make any sense. MAGA, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Now, we're getting into the actual show. 3 to 5 issues that you believe America needs to address or fix immediately. That was the actual topic of the show.
Yeah, I know. I was here at the beginning. I just had to stop because I was at work. Number one, election security. We need our elections as secure as possible so we don't have people doubting every fucking election if the shit was stolen. And they doubt it on both sides, especially the close elections.
How you going to fix that? Here's the issue I have with that. I don't think you can ever, you'll never make the election 100% secure. No matter what you do, people are always going to say that there's a way to cheat.
Well, let's not make it easy to cheat. The big problem is voter harvesting. Voter harvesting is cheating. Like, whoever has the most money to hire the most people to harvest the most shit is going to be the winner. And then number two is like mail-in ballots. They make voter harvesting even easier because you don't even need to take anyone to a poll. You just need to get their fucking ballot, fill it out, and put it in.
So if somebody's disabled or something, what are you going to force them to have to drive down to the ballot office?
No, if they have a legit reason, they could register and get their shit by mail, but don't send all of them by mail. If you send all of them by mail, I just go to your mailbox. Hell, I don't even need you. I'll just go to your mailbox and get it. And if you're a fucking drugged out homeless person, I could have that shit sent to my house and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah. To me, all you got to do when I mail your ballot out, I'll put a 4-digit code on your ballot. I mail it out. When you fill it out and you mail it back in, when I receive it, an automated call comes to your house asking for that 4-digit code and your social security number. To me, that starts the security. I can ask for other information if we really want to make it secure, but you could have an automated machine because the only person going to know the code on that ballot is the person that received it. So that person knows the
really. If I register with your information, you'd just be calling me. If I had all your info registered as you, Your shit would come to me.
Okay,
especially
well,
if you're a non-voter, I could keep using it.
Yeah, but if I got,
I might get caught.
If you got all of that, you can create an ID and go down to the polling place and steal my vote.
I mean, in this world, identity theft is like our biggest problem.
Yeah,
so
but
I don't see how you could say elections are secure with so much identity theft.
yeah, but the point I'm making is if you stole that much of my information, you can also create a fake ID and go down to the polling place and steal and do it too. You can make an ID with your picture on it with all my information, and you still can vote.
No, but at the voter place, people will be like looking, and they'll be like, "Why is the same guy showing up with 10 different IDs?"
Oh, you mean somebody who's a serial offender?
Yeah, I don't care about one or two people offenders. We're trying to catch the serial offenders.
I'm not.
I don't know. This lady was on trial like the other day, or her shit was on Fox News the other day. She was stuffing ballots.
How are you getting wait?
She was doing it in a state where they didn't have legal voter harvesting.
That doesn't. Okay, so if you're cheating through the mail like that, why are so many ballots coming to the same address that's giving you access to them? And because I use the phone number deal where they got to dial a phone number, you got to put all that information in. Why the machine is not going to call the same number for hundreds of different people?
What do you mean? What machine calling people?
I'm saying we mail out.
All the states are the same.
No, I'm saying a ballot comes to you in the mail. It's got a 4-digit security code on it. Once you mail that ballot in, you're going to get a phone call to the number you put on there. It's going to ask you for that 4-digit security number and your social security number. It's not going to keep calling the same number over and over again. So somebody trying to steal hundreds of votes, they're going to need hundreds of different phone numbers to do it through. I mean, it's going to be harder than that.
They'll say, oh, homeless people can't have phones, so they all have to share a phone. So, I mean, they'll come up with excuses. They'll say, oh, you're racist because, black people can't afford their own phone. They have to share a phone or some shit like that.
Then the homeless people can go down to the library.
That's a good... And making it one phone per person per vote, that's fine with me if you want to do it like that.
Yeah,
but they're going to say homeless people can't afford phones.
Well, if you're homeless, I mean, where are you getting the mail-in ballot to begin with?
They sent like you know how Georgia only had like 12,000 people that chose the winner. I remember right away we were able to find 2,000 homeless people registered to the same homeless shelter, and they just had all their shit sent to a homeless shelter. All their ballots.
I think we could.
The keyword because I don't want to trigger the AI.
Yeah, I think some of the little smaller details you're talking about can be easily eked out. But the point I'm making is you don't need to completely get rid of mail-in voting. I think we could have a 10-minute 20-minute conversation, and we can look. If you're homeless, go to the local library. Most of them hanging around, make it so they can cast a ballot in the gas station or something they normally go to. That's real easy to do. I mean, there's plenty of ways because the homeless community most of them ain't voting anyway. They strung out on shit. Most of them folks ain't voting.
Well, they're voting like crazy in California, and you know why? Because of voter harvesting.
Look, at the end of the day, the point I'm making is there is no reason to completely get rid of mail-in voting. If you just make a little bit of an effort, I've already gotten you to agree on some of it, and we've only been talking for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm okay. Tim, I'm okay with mail-in voting. I just don't want it automatically sent to everybody. In California, whether you want to do it by mail or not, you get one by mail. So you can go in person and vote every time, and you'll still get one in by mail. That's what I'm against when they're sent automatically. I'm all for you registering, proving that you need to do it. Like, if there's a good reason for you to get it by mail, do it by mail, all you want.
Yeah, and I would also.
I don't want it to be used like crazy.
I would also say once they receive your ballot, no matter how you cast your ballot, whether it's via going down there, mailing, no matter how you cast a ballot, you put a phone number on there. They will call you and ask you for that 4-digit. Even when you went to the polling office, you had a 4-digit code when you cast your ballot. You put your phone number on your ballot. An automatic call is going to call you and ask for that 4-digit number. So you can find out if somebody has already cast your ballot.
I mean, that's how we do it in Florida, and I'm cool with it. As long as you request it and you have a system like that where it's tied to your phone number and you have to have a legit phone number, then yeah, that works for me.
We're not.
My only other issue
We're not
What's
geniuses.
up?
We're not geniuses, man. The only reason this shit ain't happened is because folks don't want to do it. The Democrats wanted easier to vote. The Republicans wanted
It
harder to
happens.
vote.
We have it in Florida. It happens in.
It ain't in every red
certain
state.
states.
It
Like
ain't in every
California
red state.
Don't want to fuck with it because they'd rather cheat.
It ain't in every red state. Like, for instance, you got red states where people are waiting in line like 8 hours to vote. There is no reason in hell you're going to tell me they can't alleviate that problem by creating more polling
Let's
offices.
fix it. I'm for fixing it.
Yeah, so
I'm all for fixing it. I'm all for making voting easy and secure. I just don't want you to be able to harvest or cheat.
like I said,
And you know what I want the most? I want receipts. I want voting receipts where you get a receipt that your vote was counted and who it was counted for. If we all got voter receipts, then we could report if there's fraud. But without the receipts, we can't report shit.
yeah. I don't think anybody had a major issue with fraud until Trump came along. He blew, just like I mentioned. Hold on, just like I mentioned in the beginning of the live, how stuff was happening before Trump came along, but he took a lot of stuff to epic levels. I mean, there was some shit with Al Gore. Stacey Abrams made a claim, but Trump has taken everything to epic levels because he is complaining about fraud in every election he's involved in. He's going overboard with it. There is not fraud in all these fucking elections. Every election he's involved in, he's claiming fraud and proving none of it along the way.
Tim, there's always fraud.
And
The
there's
question
never
is,
proof.
Is there enough fraud to matter?
There's always fraud and there's
'Cause
never
there's always
proof.
fraud.
Yeah. There-
There's always fraud, and it
does
mostly
he have
matters
does he
when
have
the
to
election
prove
is
any of
close. When
this? Does he have to ever prove anything to you at all?
I mean, yes, but it's very hard to prove. The system we have right now, it's impossible to prove.
So
Because you don't get enough time. You got no power to look into it because it's run by the states. It's very impossible to catch.
So you believe
to
there's-
catch
you
it is
believe there's fraud in
fucking
every-
finding a needle in a haystack.
So you believe there's fraud in every election?
There's definitely fraud in every election.
So why is he?
you know, you have to fucking.
So why does he seem to be okay when he wins?
Because he wins by a big margin. If it was a close race, I would say, you know, he might have not won. It's the difference between, like, I give you the same example every time. It's the difference between a 1-point game and a 10-point game.
Yeah.
If a ref makes a bad call on a 10-point win, who gives a fuck? It's only going to make it an 8-point win.
That matters.
But if he makes
That matters for a lot of reasons. Your stats as a player, they may take away a shot that meant something to your record. I mean, if people gamble on games.
Yeah,
You may fuck up the point spread. That does matter.
For most people, it doesn't matter.
You can't if
No
you
one's
are
complaining because
if your goal is to call things accurately, that's your job. It didn't matter. It was only 1 point. I let that. No, your goal is to call things accurately because we may have a game that really is on the line. If you're letting shit go, I don't want to take a risk of having you in there.
But we had refs cheating, and it took forever to catch them cheating. It took like a very long time to catch them cheating, and they only got caught because somebody, after like 10 years, snitched.
Give me something else. Give me. I said three things. You're on election Friday. I'm okay with securing
my second
elections.
one is obviously open the Strait of Hormuz. That needs to be opened ASAP. That's the reason for all our problems. Is that closed Strait of Hormuz and it's fucking with the oil prices. Open that shit up right away. And then my third one is lower interest rate. We need like lower interest rate so we have more money in this economy to do business. I mean, these idiots at who controls the interest rate?
I actually, something, based on what you said, I got a simple solution for all three of these: election fraud, opening the Strait of Hormuz, and lowering interest rates. Your solution is simple. Don't vote for anybody like Trump again, because a lot of this shit wasn't happening until he came along. The interest rates have gotten worse under him. The strait was already open, and nobody was bitching about election fraud. You voted in your problems.
What happened in 2000, Tim? What happened in 2000?
26 years ago? What the fuck?
What happened with Bush and Gore? We only vote every 4 years. We've only had like 6 elections. And how many elections do we have? 2000, 04, 08, 12, fucking 16, 20. We only had 7 elections since then.
The Strait of Hormuz Trump is the reason the Strait of Hormuz is closed. That's it. He is the only reason that's closed. It's him.
I know, and it needs to be open. You ask what needs to be done right
Then
now.
get rid of
It needs
him.
to be open.
Get rid of him and his bullying tactics and threatening, and get somebody in there that knows how to that knows something about diplomacy.
But
And
then you still have Iran and their bullying tactics and their bullshit. You act like Iran was like an angel.
How
that
was
Trump
Iran
started
bullying
to fuck
us?
with.
What was Iran doing to bully us?
They're funding all the local terrorists that are killing Americans and our allies. They fund all the terrorists, and all our enemies are funded by Iran.
I'm going to tell you,
They're
MAGA.
giving them free oil. Even Cuba, there was getting free oil from fucking Iran.
I'm going to tell you, MAGA, if we were not in their region playing world's police and interfering with the ongoings in their region, no American would be dying of terror. You don't hear them blowing up nobody in Seattle. You're fucking in their area, telling them what to do. You got warships surrounding their whole fucking country, and we're claiming that they're the ones that are terrorists. You're in their waterway. Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody floating around in the Gulf of Mexico, right off the coast of Panama City, in your state, and all of a sudden they're calling you terrorists? They got ships 100 miles from your shores, warships, but they're calling you terrorists.
The problem is that shit is the lifeline to our fucking economy. They had a knife to our lifeline the entire time.
You got some company. Dencal wants to know, when was the last time?
I gotta go inside. I can't hear him in the car.
I'm going to
fix his audio.
Well, I'm going to translate while you're going inside. When was the last time an American died at the hands of the Iranians? He's asking.
I can't hear you. What happened?
When was the last time an American died at the hands of an Iranian?
I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Then how do you know they're funding terror?
Or during the Afghanistan retreat.
What? How do you know they're funding terror?
If they're funding those terrorists, then that's what they're saying on the fucking news, that they're funding all the terrorists in the area, including Al-Qaeda, who killed those people.
I didn't care to say that's what they're saying. You know something? Look, to me, this is a matter of our shit don't stink. You realize how many terror groups and mercenaries and shit we fund that are doing? I mean, all the proxy groups we got operating on our behalf all over the world that get their weapons and logistics and stuff from us. We do exactly what you're bitching about. We just do it worldwide. We don't do it just in the Middle East.
Yeah, we shouldn't do it. Sorry, hold on.
If you got to, I'll go ahead and move on. If you got to, I'm moving on, Matt. I'll come back to you. Tell you busy. Go ahead, didn't count.
Yeah, so all of the stuff he was claiming in the items that he said, that we need to fix is shit that Trump created. He's doing.
That's what I told him.
Was open before he was in office.
That's what I told him. I said,
He said that's one of the main things we need to do is to fix some shit he broke.
Yeah. Same thing with the election. He said the three things he gave was the election. He said the Strait of Hormuz, and he said interest rates. I'm like, then you need to start by getting rid of Trump. He's not good for any of that shit.
We literally, before Trump came into office, we literally were on the road. We had lowered interest rates like 2 or 3 times in a row before Trump got into office and he started doing that tariff bullshit. So all of the shit he's saying we need to clean up is shit that Trump created.
Yeah, you get to no argument from me because that was the same thing I told him. Like,
It's weird, man. It's weird, man. Have a conversation with people who just actually think like that. He keeps talking about this harvesting shit. I don't even think he knows what harvesting is.
Well, if you watch Dinesh D'Souza in 2000 Mules, let me flip the script. Since I got you on here, the Honorable Dencal, 3 things that America needs to fix. Let's go with your 3 things.
Oh shoot.
Something we need to fix or address immediately.
We need to create or amend laws that limit the presidential power.
Ooh, yeah. Create laws or you want to rein in. You want something to rein in the loopholes in the presidential power. I've been saying that. Something that ain't something unique to Trump. I believe that's something we have needed for many administrations, but Trump has really, just like I've been saying throughout the monologue, that a lot of the stuff we're complaining about happened before Trump, but he took it to this astronomical level and really made us realize you need to fix this. And I do agree with you, because this guy done got us into a whole war by himself. We talked about Obama droning people and things. This is in a whole different universe. Just like we talked about we complained about Trump's ballroom. Their counterpoint is, well, Obama built a basketball court. Like, the ballroom is in a whole fucking new universe. And the same thing with politicians accepting gifts. I think they all have done. But Trump accepted a jet.
He didn't even build a basketball court. It was a tennis court
Yeah.
that he converted.
Yeah. And that's the point I'm making, is that this stuff was happening before Trump, but he just took it to a whole new universe. Whether we're talking about accepting gifts, he accepted a fucking 747. Like, ain't nobody accepted nothing like that. So
Why? Because we always assumed everything was on the honor system.
yeah.
We just thought anybody who rises to the level of becoming the president of the United States must love this country and would never abuse their power. That's what we assumed. Now that we see somebody doing it, now we got one side of the people saying he's doing too much, and we got one side of the people who believe they're benefiting saying, well, he could just do whatever.
Yeah. Well, I guess I do get guests all the time, certainly in the comment section, that believe what Trump has done for America is so great that, okay, he made $2.2 billion. He kind of deserved it after all the stuff he's done for America. I do get people that say that.
Yeah. He deserved our tax money along with cheating people out of their investments. That's what he's doing. He's cheating people. He's doing public. He's doing shit, and the people get wiped the fuck out.
So do you believe that if the Democrats win in the midterms, I mean, just thinking about how divisive this would be, do you think they should go after him and his family and all them? Because I'm with you. I definitely believe everything they have done is not on the up and up, but it would divide the fuck out of the country. Do you believe they should go after him?
Yeah, as bad as we've seen what happened the first time they tried to go after him, for stuff that we know he fucking did and we've seen proof of it, it just was never able to get to the courts and be presented. They have to. Like, they can't just let the shit continue going on. There's so much shit going on right now. If they just decide, well, we just gonna let all of that stuff go, like they did with at the end of the damn Civil War, when we just let all of the Confederates go, after we did with Nixon, after he just stepped down, all of the charges and all of the shit that we would have found out about what our government is doing, we didn't find out because everybody just said, well, he got pardoned and he quit, so let's move on. Like, no, you have to hold people accountable, or there's no incentive for the next person not to do it.
Well, you could let Trump get away theoretically and just pass laws to make sure it can't happen again. We know he did this, or we know he did that, but as opposed to prosecuting it, we're just going to pass laws to prevent it. You could still address it.
What about all these kids and friends and shit with all these contracts in the government and shit? How do we do that? Do we just cancel the contract?
Yeah. You can just cancel them. I mean, like in the comments, I got somebody right now. Ruben Rubino says, Tim, accepting gifts. What about Biden's son Hunter selling them paintings for way more than they're worth? Look, this is what I'm. Hold on a second. This is what I'm saying. I'm not denying that nepotism existed under Biden. Or under other presidents. I'm sure that other people before Trump were using their father or their dad's a senator I'm sure people were doing it. I'm just simply saying Trump took this stuff to a whole new level. What Hunter Biden has made doesn't measure up to any of Trump's children. It doesn't measure up to what Melania made. All of them have made multiples of anything that Hunter Biden made. And I'm not saying that Hunter Biden didn't potentially do what you're suggesting. I'm just saying Trump has taken this stuff to astronomical levels where it's harder to turn a blind eye to it. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Denko.
And the problem with that rationale, is that you're going to say, well, okay, what everybody is doing. The difference in what Trump is doing and what they're doing is we see quid pro quo. We see a direct connection between what they're doing in American policy. That's different than Biden's son saying, "Hey, I'm the president's son, so you know buy this fucking." It would be different if he was selling that overpriced art. Then he was going. Then he was,
I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going with the art. I'm talking about Burisma. Like, if he's selling art for way more than it's worth, and people paying him, I mean, that's called capitalism.
There's a direct connection between what he's doing in policy. That's where the problem comes in. Not that he's making money. People always make money off of their parents' name. That's not. But if your parents change policy because of what you're doing, that's different. When you're getting government, this son got the largest loan ever in the history of this country for a new company to provide drones in national defense contracts. And a company that they had just jumped on a month or two before that happened. That is a direct correlation with American national security policy and the president's children. That is totally different than him getting a job at Burisma because his dad worked there.
Yeah, I don't look. I'm not going to disagree with any. I know at the end of the day, MAGA don't want to hear it. Like somebody in the comments, Billy Bly says, Hunter Biden. Now this is what I call a stretching and reaching. He says Hunter Biden is a deadbeat father, fathers a daughter, and he fights not to pay child support. What the fuck does that got to do with what we're talking about? Trump cheated on every wife he had. I mean, what does that got to do with that? Okay, Hunter Biden was a fucking crack addict. He wasn't the best moral character. Trump was sober when he was doing all that. And right now he's still hiding a bunch of pedophiles on the Epstein stuff. That ain't what we're talking about, though. I mean, don't throw he's a deadbeat dad. I guess we'll throw that in there.
That'll show him. You know what I'm saying?
Got nothing to do with this. Yeah, they got nothing to do with this conversation. He's a deadbeat dad. I mean, you're just trying to find anything you can come up with. Because Hunter, I mean, we're going to say that Hunter was a deadbeat dad, then Trump was a terrible husband. What's the big deal?
It's still a terrible husband to this day.
Yeah.
Getting his wife to do events with him is like pulling teeth. She's out there like miserable.
To death do you part. You think Melania is going to be with him to the end?
Oh yeah. I mean, she's locked in. She's locked in. I mean, it would be, that would be like a mobster's wife trying to leave after they know too much.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. It wouldn't be safe for her to leave. If Trump gets on television and says this woman was a gold digger or she never loved me, she would be getting all kinds of death threats from MAGA. So yeah, she ain't got no choice. She got to stay. Trump could turn MAGA on Melania Trump like that. She already is a foreigner. Shit, all you gotta do is just play to her weak spots. She already a foreigner with an accent and shit. Yeah, she eats.
Some of those new immigration policies to her, they could get real sticky.
Yeah, she's already a foreigner. She speaks with an Eastern European accent. Fucking Soviet spy. He could turn MAGA on Melania Trump in 2 hours. So yeah, Melania's locked in. She ain't going nowhere. So give me number 3.
Okay, we said
you want to rein in the president's power.
We really gonna have to work on our foreign relations. Our foreign relations are horrible right now. We really gonna have to have, and if it's a Democrat, they're gonna say, look, they're going on an apology tour.
That's the only way.
We're gonna have to do some bowing down and saying, my bad. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, the international relationship. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about. I do believe a portion of this country, mainly on the right, has what I refer to as a superiority complex, where America is so superior in their eyes that we don't need anybody and everybody needs us. We can treat people like shit and they got to put up with it and they're going to come crawling back to us. You can tear up the whole world. They need us to trade with. I do believe the right side of the aisle, particularly MAGA, believes that America is so superior that no matter what we do, we don't need NATO. NATO needs us. We don't need Canada. Canada needs us. We don't need any of them. They need us, so we can do anything to them. Do you see any validity in what I'm saying?
Yes, I mean, everybody saying that stuff has no idea about how foreign policy works, how the world order that was actually built up and constructed by America is holding all of this shit together. You can't just remove the key player from everything because we don't make and we don't have everything that we need, to progress. We dealing with China right now. We don't have the rare earth materials we need to do all of this stuff we do with AI. They are the sole source of a lot of those minerals. That's why all of this economic D-Day bullshit, but when they asked them, well, what about China? Well, we're not going to say any name because you better not say China's name.
Well, but keep in mind, now that Trump is using D-Day-like economic sanctions on Iran, he just said that any country that offers Iran a lifeline, we're going to basically view them as enemies too. And China buys 80% of Iranian oil. So China's definitely giving Iran a lifeline. I believe Russia is too. So even though he may have not said China by name, I mean, that's he got to be including them, right?
That was the first 2 or 3 questions they asked Scott Bessent. He would not say that they were going to apply these terms to China. China came out the very same day or the next day and said, we don't give a shit about what America's talking about. That's our sovereignty. This is part of our deal. Russia's not going to stop. North Korea has said they're not even talking to America no more because they're sending weapons and shit to Russia.
I thought Trump just said he had a good relationship with North Korea last week when he didn't help out the South Koreans in the war games.
And the very next day, Lil Kim, I call him Lil Kim. I don't call him Kim Jong-un.
Rocket Man. Trump calls him Rocket Man.
Right. Lil Kim told him, go jump in the fucking lake. I don't even acknowledge the shit that Trump said.
So what are we doing? So before moving on from you, what are we doing? Strengthening our enemies and weakening our allies? I mean, we're weakening our relationship with our allies and strengthening the relationship between our adversaries.
Well, I mean, technically, we're going to be strengthening our allies because now they're able to move on. They're able to make deals with China. They're able to make deals with India and the rest of the world where they normally would not have been able to because if America don't fuck with you, then you can't fuck with them either. So we going ass backwards right now. Look, I know I've said it a million times before, and people were talking about the economy and how it's going. Look, capitalism has a funny way of maintaining itself. So although we have done a whole bunch of shit that should have destroyed our economy under Trump, hey, these capitalists still chugging the fucking along. The people is barely making it, but the capitalists, they're making money hand over fist.
Yeah, the
streets is open. The streets is open.
Yeah, the wealth divide, I'm sure, has grown significantly under Trump. Dencal, as always, pleasure.
Hey, last quick thing though. Hey man, I did just to give a little big ups to Gangsta Grandma. I don't know if you heard, but old Scaramucci called Trump an open can of spam.
Oh.
He said when Trump, because he seen Trump without his makeup.
Oh no.
He looked like an open can of spam.
Oh my God.
That's
a hellified quote. Yeah, that's a hellified quote. And they've hung around each other enough so he would know. All right, Dencal. Thank you. Tap the screen, get the likes on up, help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok, cap goes. Haven't solicited that in a while, and I can tell. Show the program some love in the comments. I did want to address a comment that came in earlier. Billy Bly says, Tim, you think I'm criticizing Hunter Biden? Yes, I am. Again, both political parties are equally and totally corrupt. I got 2 problems with that. First of all, I don't believe they're equally corrupt. I do not believe they're equally corrupt. I think Trump is doing a lot more stuff than any president we've had in our ever. I mean, he's tearing down parts of the White House without any permission, putting his name all over DC. Ain't nobody done no shit like that. That's him. He's taking it to a whole new level. He's doing things that are in areas and avenues that nobody's been in the White House and was actively running so many corporations at the same time. He's done more stuff than so I believe that there's some corruptness in all administrations, but Trump is significantly further along. So I don't agree with you trying to make it sound like everybody's doing it. And here's the second issue I have with this. He's not a typical politician. He's going to drain the swamp. He's going to expose the deep state. We don't want from all of that shit to, well, they all do it. Hunter Biden did the same thing. This is a big fucking disappointment. Should be for you. If you voted for Trump, thinking he was going to be above the fray and better than what all of Washington and government has been doing us and ripping off the people, and now you're forced to say, well, he ain't ripping us off no more than everybody else has. He should be a big fucking disappointment to you. He was supposed to drain the swamp. Now, well, the other guys are swamp creatures too. He should be a big fucking disappointment to you for that. Every time you got to say, well, other politicians did the same thing. He was not a typical politician. He was supposed to be better. Now you're doing is comparing him to all the folks that you formerly viewed as swamp creatures. And you're not disappointed by that at all, huh? This is where the folks start talking about cult-like behavior, because you either voted for Trump based on the policies and principles, or you voted for Trump just because you like Trump. Once he started deviating from his campaign promises and principles, that's where you're supposed to. If you voted based on principle, you're supposed to be deviating from him as well. If you're still following him when he's not doing most of the stuff he promised, then you just voted for him. That means it don't matter what he do. I'm gonna ride with him no matter what. Doesn't matter what he does, because you're comparing him now to swamp creatures and shit. Go figure. Anyway, in the comments, Hans Conservative says this is where we disagree. If you can't see that both parties are corrupt, then you have an issue. No, we don't disagree with that. We disagree with the equally part. That's where we disagree. I don't think Obama converting a tennis court to a basketball court is the same as him tearing down part of the White House and building a ballroom. No, that ain't equal to me. I don't see what Hunter Biden did with Burisma equal to what Trump's children are doing. That ain't equal to me. You can say both of them are corrupt. I'm with you there. We could talk about Obama droning Americans and how that there could be some legalities to that. But I don't put that in the same category as starting a whole fucking war. That ain't equal to me. When we bring up things that Trump is doing that appears corrupt, I listen to what you guys counter with. None of it is equal. It might be in the same category, but it ain't equal. It's like me going and fucking stealing a radio out of Radio Shack or Best Buy or something, and you going to steal in a car. Well, you stole something too. That ain't equal. So that's where the difference is you guys are trying to stretch what the Democrats did to reach up to Trump's level. It ain't, I'm assuming Biden or Obama or one of them ran a few businesses and made a little money when they were in the White House. But crypto, books and Bibles and shoes and watches and shit, it ain't equal. And there's no way to make it equal. Trump has done it, everything we would bring up, Trump has done it probably 10 to 100 times greater than anybody you would counter it with. That's the point I'm making. Dencal, the turncoat, January 20, what does it say? Draco says, he's calling Dencal the turncoat. January 2024. Okay, you're giving me the Iranians you're giving me people that Iran has been responsible for killing. Said January 2024, 3 Americans killed and 40 injured by Iran drone attack on Tower 22 in Jordan. And the Iranians did that, or was it a proxy group? Alexa, were 3 Americans killed by the Iranians in a drone attack in January 2024, Tower 22 in Jordan?
Yes, 3 U.S. soldiers were killed in the January 28, 2024 drone strike on Tower 22 in Jordan by the Islamic Resistance in Iraq.
Okay, you said Iran, Islamic Resistance. Is that Iranians?
The Islamic Resistance in Iraq isn't an Arab nationalist group. It's an informal network of Iranian-backed Shia militias operating in Iraq.
Okay, why did they do that? I'm curious.
They said the strike was retaliation for U.S. backing Israel in the Gaza war, aiming to push U.S. forces out of Iraq and Syria. And
Alexa, stop. You know, that's an interesting point. And I don't want to look. I don't know a lot about the incident, but I do take note to a lot of stuff that we call acts of terrorism. They refer to it as self-defense. When they hit us, when we do something to them, it's justified. When they do something back, it's terrorism. So I do see it that way. Like when we went and attacked Iraq during the Bush administration, we were calling them folks terrorists. They're in their own country fighting against us invading them, and we're calling them terrorists. So I do believe I think we kind of exaggerate on the term terrorism. I know we call a lot of folks terrorists rather, that to some degree are just acting in self-defense. So I'll leave it at that in the comment. But thank you, Draco. Interesting topic. In the comments, still doesn't hold a candle to the corruption now. Yeah, look, I'm not going to try to pretend like what Trump is doing in terms of corruption is no worse than any other president. That is absolutely not true. When one of my guests talked about, and I'll go back to the box, having the Secret Service stay at your hotels so you can charge them, that should not even be, to me, that is so corrupt. It shouldn't be allowed. You should not be able to, no matter where you travel, staying in your own facility should be off limits. Love the Cruz. Good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not
How
much
you doing?
at all. I've been accused of everything from loving napkins to fluffing this evening.
What you want me to do about it?
Straighten them out. Tell them they wrong.
You know what? I can't, man.
Oh, come on. What did I say? What did I do?
Hey, you know what? I understand your position.
Thank
You're just
you.
trying to give the opposite side, play defense, you know. But damn, Tim, you don't have to do it so good.
Travelman, thank you for the head mustache TikTok cap. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Now listen, I don't think it's fluffing to say that you can be racist on both sides. I don't think that's
No, I
fluffing.
believe that too. And sometimes we do have to check ourselves, you know, because we can have a little MAGA and that's on the left side, you know.
I mean, what Gangsta grandma, the stuff she be saying is so fucking racist. Now, I got my African American side out saying that you can't be racist if you're black. It ain't none she said racist. To me, that is crazy. If anybody white said half of the shit she was saying, they would be saying that person is a stark racist.
I'm an old school. I don't understand this. You can't say blacks no more. You can't, you know, the other people where we can't be racist. I don't understand all that myself. Yeah. I think it's a pity party sometime that we're having because we can't be racist. I don't understand why we can't say blacks or black or anything like that. You know, I mean, we're going to the extreme here.
Yeah.
You know, where that means that other people just can't say shit to us.
And that's why a lot of the white community is using that as an out, is because you're getting to the point. There is real racism in America. They're claiming that people are being found in trees and shit. There is genuine racism. Why the hell are we getting pissed off because somebody said the word blacks? Like you said, old school guys, we said that as kids. I never saw that as a racist term.
Yeah, you know, I mean, James Brown said I'm black and I'm proud. You know, I mean, I don't get it. This is a new way of thinking, and I'm not going to knock them, but I'm not going to agree to it either.
To me, when you go too far, you start losing people who might be sympathetic to the cause. I mean,
Yeah,
you start
exactly.
attacking people for little lame shit. And like I said, there's no way if you want Caucasian folks to sympathize with the fight for civil rights and the correct stuff, there's no way you need to be defending what Gangsta Grandma is saying. You can't defend that.
Gangsta Grandma is just does she have valid points? Yes, she does.
Delivery.
But her delivery is fucked up. You know, I mean, sometimes
Her delivery is equivalent to a DoorDash driver walking on crutches. Like that shit gonna be cold and spoiled by the time you get it.
I mean, damn, get some kind of filters on something. Damn, you know. But yeah, hey, I was on here because your boy James Harper. I had my 3 on here that I was thinking about.
Oh, let's go with him. And by the way, We the Rebel says, "Amen, my fellow American." You got a fan. Give me your 3 there, Travelman. Let's start number 1. Let's go with 1.
I'm Love the Cruise, not Travelman.
I mean, Love the Cruise. My fault. My fault. I got Travelman on the mind. Love the Cruise. Go ahead.
First thing I have is the economy.
I'm surprised you're the first person to not only to make it first. You're the first person to even mention it. I think Denkel. He talked about lowering rates. I forgot what he said, but you're the first person to. Because they normally say it's the economy, stupid. You're the first person to bring the economy up.
Oh yeah, well,
that's crazy.
The economy's fucked up. Yeah. So that's my first thing. The second thing would be foreign affairs.
He brought that up. Denkel brought that up.
Yeah, that's we just got to regain confidence. I mean, right now, when have you ever known 2 leaders of countries to be calling each other names? If that isn't the most ridiculous thing, and I understand their point of view, because we're dude in the White House there, he's the one initiating all this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Americans, and I would even say, I would even include Iran in what I'm about to say. But in regards to the Trump being adversaries to all these countries, I think there's a lot of Americans that are rooting for these other countries. Whether we're talking Iran, certainly Canada, there's a ton of Americans that believe what we're doing in Canada is wrong. But I think even Iran, there's a lot of Americans rooting for these other countries, not even their own nation.
Well, yeah, just like you said with Gangsta Grandma, you don't want to eliminate your people that are on your side, and that's what Trump is doing. Yeah. You know, as Americans, we have to go with America first. That's what's supposed to be what happened. But as you see how he's doing these countries, you kind of like, man, he puts us in a bind. Do we have misplaced our opinion of things? You know, do we keep on back in America seeing that how wrong we are? Or do we go ahead and ride with him because he's the president of the United States? I've kind of made my decision, fuck him, you know?
But how do you respond to some of my beloved MAGA that might suggest a true patriot is going to stand by his country no matter what? Yeah, he's not perfect. No president is perfect. But he is the commander-in-chief of the nation you reside in. Or you may get the typical, if you don't like what's going on, get the fuck out. You know, the MAGA says that very often. How do you respond to that?
A true patriot doesn't put his country in jeopardy in the first place.
What if it's for a good cause? What if you got, I mean, going to war, for instance?
What is a good cause?
Preventing Iran from getting a nuclear bomb.
Oh, come on. They didn't have one. And how many, they could say all this, all they want. I never woke up one morning in my entire life worried about Iran throwing a nuclear bomb at me.
Well, it probably wouldn't be effective if they just threw it at you. I know what you're talking about. I'm just joking. Yeah, you're right. I'm the same way. I didn't feel any fear. I mean, you know, back during the Soviet Union, you're hiding under desks and stuff. No, but I don't think most people in this country felt like Iran was at the cusp of using a, you know, intercontinental nuclear weapon on us.
I mean, it's nothing. That's not a worry. You know, I mean, come on, that's just an excuse for him to just try to dominate another country. He hasn't attacked one country that has a nuclear bomb yet.
Nope. That's why I make that argument that It's almost like the armed society is a polite society that the 2A people say. Once these countries get their hands on nuclear bombs, people will back off. I mean, because that's what mainly what it is globally is you got a whole bunch of superpowers and nuclear armed countries fucking with people that don't have nuclear. Russia's fucking with the Ukraine. Everybody says if the Ukraine still kept their nukes, Russia wouldn't be fucking with them. You got North Korea just doing whatever the hell they want. You got China threatening Taiwan. Taiwan doesn't have the nukes. I mean, once you get your hands on a nuke, people leave you alone.
Leave you alone, exactly. So it's like if you got a pistol, you don't mess with nobody else that has one. You go rob somebody who doesn't. Yeah,
that's an armed planet is a polite planet. I do tend to believe that if everybody had atomic weapons, I think it would be less conflict on Earth. I don't think most world leaders are suicidal and are going to do that knowing that they're going to get a bunch of nukes rained on their country. I think most of the folks would back off.
Exactly. So, and my third one is, James Harper brought this up. I had immigration, so I'm going to change it to education.
Explain.
Right now, we're probably the dumbest motherfuckers there is. We need education. We need education so we can keep up with the rest of the world. We need education so we can fix things here in our country. And we need education so that this voting for dumb motherfuckers like Donald Trump won't happen again.
Oh my God. Well, the crazy thing is as opposed to becoming more educated, they're telling you to start taking like become a welder, become a carpenter. They're not talking about the high-tech stuff anymore.
No, your boy Trump was the one that said he wants dumb motherfuckers anyway.
And he did say I love the poorly educated. So
yeah.
Well,
so we need to get ourselves educated. If nothing else, technology is taking over.
So how would you implement that? Are you saying maybe free college? Like, how would you get people more educated?
I think it first has to start with a sound foundation, which means elementary school. K through 6. Start with them first.
I'll hold you up. Hold on. I'll tell you. Preschool is important because when you send kids to preschool, they start out at the K level, at the kindergarten level ahead. I would say start, when they're 3 or 4 years old, because you got a lot of kids that go to preschool that can, by the time they go to kindergarten, they can already do the ABCs or they can even read a little bit. I mean, so that preschool level is important too.
So you start with the elementary. Damn that. I don't know when school became like the Marines till I leave nobody behind. No, if you're not passing, you're gonna get left behind.
That's what they used to do to us. Yeah, that's what they used to do. You fail. You would fail in class. They stopped doing that, huh?
Yeah, no, they went Marines. Nobody should be left behind. So you gotta start with education. Give these kids a good foundation first, and then work your way up to junior high and high school. You can't start at high school and work your way down. It doesn't make sense. Change all the teaching. Take some money from somewhere and put it more into education.
Here's the problem now. This is where some of my folks in the past, and Felix, appreciate the hat and mustache. So does all my friends there. Thank you. This is where some folks are bringing up racism and things like that, is that a lot of folks do not want their tax dollars going to educate everybody. That's why they would rather give it to private schools, because it only educates people like them. I mean, because I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard rumors that a lot of social programs used to be available until civil rights laws made them available to everybody. And then suddenly people didn't want them available to everybody anymore.
I don't know about these dumb motherfuckers that, I don't want my dollar to go to a black student. I don't know all about that. Sounds crazy to me.
I can imagine it. I know right now with the anger towards the Muslim community, I can see it. I mean, because there's a lot. I mean, look, people are fearful. Sharia law is about to take over. Like, what the fuck? So I can certainly see how it could happen with the Muslim community, where people would not want their tax dollars going to help any Muslim. I mean, you got people saying Ilhan Omar should be deported.
And that's stupidity. That comes back to education. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous how many adults say dumb shit out their mouth and believe it. You got, look, MAGA reacts. You know, if he ain't the dumbest motherfucker in Florida,
He's
I don't wanna
listening.
meet him.
Don't say his name too many times. He comes up. But go ahead. Go ahead.
And fuck him. He's a stupid racist ass motherfucker himself too.
All right. Keep going.
You laughed, Tim. You know it. You know it. But I'm saying, education is the foundation for everything. You can talk to people, educate them. They have a different idea on things, and if they don't have it, at least they're open and can open to other ideals. You know, but you got to get everybody educated, and it starts with the kids because the kids are our future.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. You know, James Harper mentioned that. I'm like, man, I didn't even think about that. But you know, that's right up there.
Kind of like that's the Whitney Houston song. I believe the children are our future. Yeah, I definitely agree. To me, I would put healthcare in there as well. You want a successful country. You want a educated and healthy population. Those are two. To me, those two things are very important. I mean, because health causes us a lot of problems too. So you certainly want an educated population, but you want folks healthy as well.
You're right, but in turn, if the education is good and we're raising up kids to get good jobs and this and that, that's going to lead to a better medical.
Fair enough.
I mean that's what I believe, but don't mistake for us older people. Yeah, we need the health care, you know, but for the kids, if they can get a better job, maybe then they wouldn't be so mad at the social programs because we wouldn't have to put as much into them if there are less people that need it.
When you say the economy, though, give me before we move on, give me a little bit of elaboration on the economy because I'm kind of wondering, like, what aspects of the economy are you referring to?
Well, it's a domino effect right now because with the tariffs made everything higher. Okay. So we need to get rid of the tariffs, which will have to help the economy. Ooh. I'm not saying get rid of them total. I'm saying put them back to where they were. You know,
something because like what I think was Dencal or one of my other viewers brought up, we don't hurt so many relationships. I don't know if you can immediately put things back to where they were because some folks have taken evasive action already. I mean, okay, well, if you're going to charge me this much with tariffs, then I'm going to go do business with these people. And they don't enter long-term contracts. I don't think you can undo all of it.
Well, let me tell you, this is where I kind of disagree. I think we can undo it, but I don't know if they would trust us because of our record, okay?
Yep.
But money rules over everything.
Yeah. But if you've entered it, well, you can just look, if America started saying they're going to impose a huge tariff on beef or soybean or something, and China stepped in and offered you the same deal for slightly less, and they said, we'll give you the deal and we'll charge you a little bit less than what you used to pay the Yankees, but we need a 15, 20-year commitment. If you sign on a dotted line, there is no way out of that, even if you get a friendly administration in the United States. You can tell the United States to the next president, look, I understand what Trump did was a one-off, and we accept your apology, but unfortunately, we cannot bring back business in that sector. We've already made a long-term contract with some other country.
Well, that's true, and we're got the first step is to give it an effort. Okay, China isn't going to have everybody. First thing we got to do is just give it an effort and let everybody see where we're at. Because right now, man, our name is mud. You know, nobody trusts us. And, you know, and like you say, people think that United States is the do-all, be-all. We need people too.
Yep.
Tell you what, we need people too. You know, you messing with Canada, the simplest thing, Canada brings lumber.
Energy. You know, Canada bring a lot of shit. A lot of states are getting their energy from them. Yeah.
So we need the lumber, just the lumber alone, you know, and until we go ahead and we have to get these countries back like you say, they're signing leases with other countries, but I think if we show the ones that haven't signed or aren't obligated, they would start dealing with us. I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
Because you got to keep in mind that if somebody fucked America over, Trump wouldn't just accept an apology and start doing business with them again. So understand, you may have Trump may have pissed off Trump-like leaders elsewhere. Some of them may hold grudges just like he do. I mean, he wouldn't accept it if some country treated us like shit.
You're wrong. You're wrong there, Tim.
You don't think nobody hold grudges either? Only him?
I think he's the worst leader in the world.
Damn. Worst leader in the world. Damn.
In the world, Tim, in the world.
I don't know about that. Damn.
He's the worst leader in the world. And think about it, once we get him out of the United States, and they know
he ain't the worst leader in the world. Come on now. I don't agree with that at all. He ain't the worst leader in the world.
Okay, Tim, give me three that are worse.
Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin.
Hold it. Okay, Vladimir. What has he done to Russia equal to destroying America the way Trump has?
They are literally running out of men, Lada Cruz, because of that useless war. They are running out of fucking men. People are getting slaughtered, like dying by the. I think they've had millions of people die.
If we put troops on the ground, guess what's going to happen to us?
But we're not there yet. They're there already.
Once we do, guess what? Me and you going to have to pick of the litter.
I'm listening to you, but I'm not. Trump is not the worst leader on the planet. There are plenty. I'll tell you this: if you go to the continent of Africa, the Congo and Rwanda, I'm sure there's some really, really bad guys. I'm not defending Trump, but I'm not going to put him at the bottom of the pile like that.
Leader. This is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about his. I am talking about his actions. His actions have took the United States, the greatest country God has ever known.
People, there are leaders. Lada Cruz, there are leaders that would come to your house and my house right now and take our heads off for this conversation about Trump because they don't let their people even talk about their leaders.
We're just lucky to have a constitution to say he doesn't. ICE is damn nearly doing it.
He ain't the worst leader on the planet. You really believe that? You think he's the worst leader on earth?
I really do.
Oh
Considering where we were. Hold on, man. You're not letting me explain. Considering where we were and considering what we had and going till now, I'm not talking about other countries who never had nothing and they were born into that. I'm talking about countries that were advanced like us and compared to what we have now. Who do you think is worse than him?
You may put him in the category of being the worst president America or the United States has ever had, but he ain't the worst on earth. I would be willing to have a conversation about worst out of the 47, and we could talk about aspects of him that may fall in that category. And even in that category, you had presidents that did not believe a woman had the right to vote, promoted slavery. I mean, I don't even think he's the worst the United States has ever had.
Tim, you are flipping today. You really, Tim. Wait a minute, hold it. For the president. At the time you just mentioned about president want women to vote, that was in place, whatever president was there, okay? And so, wait a minute, that may not be his fault. I'm not saying he was a good president, but what makes Trump so bad is the fact that these things were in place and he's trying to take them from us.
You got presidents that signed in, that was agreeing with Jim Crow and blacks being 3/5 of a man. I mean, Trump is, I don't know what direction Trump is taking us in.
Take us back to that.
I hear you, but we're not there yet. I got to move it on. Real quick, because I got to move it on.
Show me a president who, while in his term, made the country go way backwards in morals and ethics and everything. Now, I ain't talking about because of war like Vietnam or anything. I'm talking about just being himself and the things that he has passed and what he wants to do in the future with it.
Jackson, the guy who preceded Abraham Lincoln, he freed the slaves, and what his actions put us right into Jim Crow. The president that came after Abraham Lincoln is significantly worse, particularly to the black community, than President Trump. I gotta go though. I would say, look him up. He's way worse than Trump.
We're gonna have this argument again.
Indeed, I'd love to have it with you. Thank you. Moving on with the program, tap the screen. And like I said, I hate, I'm not defending Trump. I'm just calling it as I see it. There's no way you or I, and I'm my female audience, my minority audience, my white audience that do not own properties, they're presidents that none of us would have any rights. Trump has not done all that. Now, we can argue whether he's trying to take us back to some other direction. After all, the hat says make America great again. So he is talking about taking us to something in the past, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I think there's a lot of presidents that were probably worse than Trump. We're not there yet. And I certainly don't believe he's the worst on the planet. That's really crazy. Netanyahu is an international criminal, says American Color. An ICC fugitive. Trump is only a domestic criminal, not accused of war crime. There you go. That's another one. I'm assuming there's probably more people on the planet that think Netanyahu is a worse leader than Trump. But they're kind of co-conspirators in that. If you think Netanyahu's a war criminal, he doesn't do what he's doing without Trump, without the United States, but certainly without Trump. So, I mean, they're kind of, it's hard to hold Netanyahu accountable without Trump's name coming up. I mean, he is on TV talking about he was going to own Gaza and make it the Riviera of the Middle East. So let me go to the box. We'll go to Instagram and help your boy with the hat mustache, TikTok, cap, goals. We'll go straight over to Paranoid Android. Good evening, Paranoid. Worst president on the globe. I'd love to hear some of you folks' opinion. Paranoid, good evening.
Hello, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to fend off the worst president in the world. What say you?
I thought that was a little bit of Trump derangement, if you ask me. Just a little bit,
Okay. Well, Trump does earn the anger towards him. I mean, I don't want to call him the worst president on the planet, but he does do a lot to earn why people don't like him. I think he likes not being liked.
The previous guest, I think a better way to maybe phrase the argument would be like it's maybe the biggest fumble of all time.
I like that.
Like he had the best, most grandest opportunity to build on top of what we already had here, but he just divided, and started wars with Israel because Israel said, or Iran because Israel said so. Talking about.
So not the worst president on the planet, but he had the biggest fumble. Yeah, I like that. I'm still going to go with the guy that followed Abraham Lincoln. He had a chance. He also fumbled it by keeping African Americans in.
Well, his story ended, right? And so Trump's still going. And so I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
So I do understand what he's trying to say, I think.
For
sure.
You definitely don't think Trump is a good president by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I don't think he's the worst leader in the world though right now.
He agrees with you on the fumble. So did you vote for Trump?
Oh, yes, I did.
I gotta get that for the audience at home. Now you voted for Trump, and you sound like you're not a happy camper.
Well, yeah, because like I said before, there was honestly really when the ICE stuff started being handled horribly, things were happening, events were happening, and he wasn't really doing anything about it. That was like I guess a huge turn.
What do you mean when you say wait? What do you mean? You say the ICE stuff is handled horribly. Most of the MAGA I get on here, they love what ICE is doing. What do you mean by ICE is handling things horribly?
MAGA, you know that.
Yeah. But most Trump supporters like what ICE is doing. They're more pissed off with maybe the economy or the Epstein files or the war. I don't hear a lot of Trump supporters that are pissed off with ICE.
That's what I was really gonna say is the biggest eye opener for me was the 180 on the Epstein files. I mean, he said it was a joke and it was a hoax and just to move on. And people that were still worried about it were just, freaking out over nothing. And it's like, okay, well, what do you say about the victims and the survivors that are going and, testifying about their abuse and, how they were trafficked and forced to have babies, like all this horrendous stuff. What do you say to them?
Yes, yeah, I heard that. I think DenCal was the first to tell me that they were actually using those girls to breed. I knew there was, underage intimacy, but I didn't know they were deliberately impregnating them and shit.
Sir, they were cannibalizing them.
What do you mean, eating them?
Yes, sir. Look up Epstein files, cream cheese.
Has anybody heard that?
Oh yeah.
I'm asking the viewers that are, hold on, hang on. I'm asking the viewers that are listening. Has anybody heard that there was cannibalization with these files going on? I didn't hear that part. Yeah, they saying people, Jesus.
It's horrible. It's the worst. It's demonic, in my opinion. The best way to describe it is demonic. They do ritual stuff with it all, like they do ritual acts. Occult, very occult, and it's him and his friends. It's not just him. It's all the people he's fucking emailing. Like, they're all fucking in on it,
Let me ask you this then. Because MAGA was gung-ho about this shit before Trump. Oprah was in it. Hillary Clinton was in it. Will Smith and Tom. Why did they get silent once Trump got in there and said, we don't need to release this? How was he able to squash them on something that was like one of the biggest scandals that MAGA was concerned with? Once Trump got elected, he silenced them on that.
I think nowadays I've come to the conclusion, like, just begrudgingly thinking that it was a psyop to begin with, that he was just the false hope of, bringing this stuff to light just to wag it in our faces.
But why let go? But why did they let go? I mean, MAGA...
because they won. What do you mean? They let go because they won.
So you're looking to punish people that abuse children, and all of a sudden your side wins and you let that go?
Yeah.
You realize how bad you're making MAGA look?
That's why I stopped following that shit.
Jesus.
They're supposed to have it on the desk day one, and we're supposed to hear about the facts of what happened day one, and then they did all this kind of fuck shit,
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Pam Bondi did say I got the files on my desk, and day. I mean, that was one of Trump's most popular statements, though, is that he was going to do stuff on day one. He said
that was one of his most popular statements, and another one of his most popular statements is we're not going to go to war just for Israel.
Yeah. So it's safe. So it's safe to assume you were unhappy with Trump's second term pretty quickly.
Very, very quickly. Because I paid close attention. Most MAGA, they win and then they just go back and drink their beer and watch their fucking sports games.
So
and they don't pay attention to what they're doing after they win. And it's the same thing on both sides, but that's the reality of most.
I don't look, because the Democrats have so many different groups they have to cater to. Because people always say, well, if Kamala Harris had won, she'd have been worse. I don't know what Kamala Harris would have done, but I'm going to tell you, she would not have been allowed to do the stuff Trump is doing, because the Democrat Party hold their side more accountable because there's so many different groups. They're not going to just let you get away. And whereas Trump only really has to appease one type of person, straight white Christian males. Whereas on the Democrat side, you got Muslims and gays and blacks and Hispanics.
That's true. But if that's true, he wouldn't have won either election. Because if you're just going off of that, like, you can't win with the electoral college system, how it's set up. Like, you can't win elections just with white, straight, male Christians. Like, you wouldn't have enough votes. I mean, you need women, and you need different races. Like, there's a huge amount of
to get in there, but not to, what I'm saying is Trump or Kamala or anybody, you can say what you need to say to get elected, but once you're in there. As a Democrat, once you're in there, they're yelling genocide. Joe got to go. Trump ain't getting. Now that he's in there, he's not giving a shit what those other groups of people are saying.
I agree. I agree, and it's like kind of terrifying.
Yeah, there was groups that were like gays for Trump. Trump was holding up the rainbow flag. There were Somalis that voted for Trump. Venezuelans, we vote for Donald Trump. He don't give a fuck about none of those groups now. The Democrats would have to cater to those groups once they got in there.
I think you're right. I think you're.
Yeah.
I don't know enough to argue against that point, and I kind of feel like you're probably just right about that. But fuck.
So give me three. Let's go with the three things. Three things that America needs to address that you're concerned with. We need to fix right now, immediately.
Taking the Epstein saga seriously and looking into it. I would say that's probably one of the number one things, because you're involving kids on a, kids being bad things happening to them by like really, really, really powerful people, and that have a lot of authority over, their.
I would never put Epstein in first place, but the way you frame it, I totally understand it, because we do tend to put people who violate children on the registry.
Okay.
Because hang on. Let me say, I'll let you finish. I'll give you time. But we do tend to put people on the registry because the belief is if you have violated a child, there's a really good chance you may do it again. So we need to keep tabs on you, things like. So the fact that we know people who have violated children out there that are not being punished. I agree with your point. It's fair to say that they're still doing that. So by him protecting these folks, he is literally probably causing new victims to be victimized.
Exactly. Right now.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
And so, to further that point is, Epstein was somehow related to Mossad somehow, and
wow.
Yeah, somehow. And okay, wait. My point is that in the files it talks about like the use of this type of material and kids as blackmail. Okay, and so that's been like their most powerful tool to manipulate like leaders. We're talking judges, presidents of all different countries. Like you're talking world scale blackmail using those means. And I think the implications are way deeper than people are cognizant.
Well, yeah, if they're breeding and eating them and all this other crazy shit, it's way deeper. Number two. Number two,
we need to, on top of, I think it's a kind of a part two of one, is address that spiritual warfare is a real thing. Because, speaking not only just worldly corruption, but Epstein specifically was very, very closely tied to occult. He did a whole bunch of occult practices. He stole ancient relics. He had a piece of the cloth that covered the big cube and the cabal, I think. Or
what are you going to do to address that?
It's just awareness. The first thing to do to fight, to defend against spiritual warfare is awareness. Just acknowledge it. Stop living in this fantasy that it doesn't exist.
I need you just for my purposes and people who may be listening, define what do you think spiritual warfare is and how does it harm folks, or how is it harmful to folks?
That's a complex topic. Like I said, I think the best way to learn about it is learning about the crimes and the acts of these people who are practicing occult rituals. And look at Maria Abramovich, and she's was a spirit cooker and is very involved in high level politics in the United States.
You putting this on number two?
Yes, because spiritual warfare determines your soul.
I don't think you think it's that many people. This is affecting that many people that you would put it at number two.
I think it's why America is so fucked.
Now, I the way when you said spiritual warfare, the first thing I thought about, I think religious warfare. I mean, spiritual religious, because I absolutely do think you can use religion as a weapon. I mean, we've done it throughout history. The Islam community is doing it. I mean, you have because the whole Catholic Church scandal I mean, it's very similar to the Epstein stuff. They were doing some very similar stuff. It was all the way up to the higher levels of the Catholic Church. They were hiding priests and moving people around, hiding abortions, all this. I mean, it was very similar. So I would see a lot of similarities from your mention of spiritual warfare and religious warfare.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a very big distinction. And just, I would urge you and everybody listening just to think about it like a personal question to answer about like your death, because we're all going to die. And I think it's just a personal thing. It's not worth putting a layer of like politics over geopolitics, because it's not going to make sense.
Yeah. Number 3, and before we get to number 3, folks on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button. If you enjoy this type of dialogue, certainly subscribe to the program. Doesn't cost you anything, but certainly right now, tap that like button. And for my TikTok users, certainly get the likes on them. We may cross the 200,000. Tap the screen, get the likes up to 185 if you can, and Hat Mustache TikTok cap goes, which are pretty low. Show some love. Number 3.
Number 3. Be graceful with yourself.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, man. I don't know. You're putting me on all these.
Where the fuck is the economy? Where is the Iran war? I mean, seriously.
Okay. Definitely, like pull out of the Iran war. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'll take that one for number 3.
All right.
Final answer.
All right, fair enough. I got to move it on. We brought you to your senses on number 3, but I do agree with number 1 and number 2. We'd have to go into more detail, but number 1, the Epstein stuff, yeah, that is a no. So,
crazy.
All right, appreciate it. Paranoid. Thank you for coming through.
Good one.
You too. Go ahead and drop. Tap the screen and looking in the comments. Housing. So housing is incredibly important. I'm going to go with the economy being number 1. I just think I would say the economy, healthcare, and education. Those would be my 1, 2, and 3. The economy, healthcare, and education. I think that would make for a very strong, high morale population. The economy, healthcare, and education. So you got people are doing better financially. They're living longer, living healthier lives with healthcare, and they're more intelligent, which would be valuable to us all. Because you want to keep people, let's say, from not doing bad shit. Like number 1, the number 1 method to reduce recidivism, education. Educated people have more to live for. They have ways of earning. Education is valuable in all aspects of life. Economy, education, and healthcare. Those would be my 3. Anyway, looking in the comments, the president is a pedo, greatest until otherwise proven. Huh? Pimpney Furback says the president is a pedo. Oh, grapist, not greatest. Until otherwise proven. I'm not going to say that Trump violated the innocence of a child, but, and I'm saying this is the fluffing side you guys often say. Even if I want to be MAGA friendly, I'm going to say what even MAGA agrees with. Even if you don't believe Trump violated the innocence of any children, I think even MAGA would agree that by not letting folks get the true answers on the Epstein files, he's helping out people that did. So that's where I don't understand MAGA not being harder on Trump. Most of them will agree what he's doing with the Epstein files is helping out pedos, but yet you're still supporting him and saying he's a great guy. He is helping pedos out. He may be one, but you certainly would agree he's helping them out. If your neighbor was helping out a pedo, you would not like your neighbor. You wouldn't want to live next to him. He's like, I don't do none of that shit, but my boy did, and I made sure the cops didn't catch him. You wouldn't want nothing to do with that guy. So I don't understand how MAGA is still riding with him when most of them agree and bringing up, well, what about Biden? What about that? Don't defend Trump. If the accusation is that Trump is helping pedos and all you can toss out there is what about Biden, that ain't defending Trump worth a damn. In fact, that's an admission of guilt. You're just trying to say, well, your boy did it too. What the fuck? That ain't no defense for Trump bringing up. Well, Biden didn't release it either. No, I want to hear where Trump helped us get to the bottom of it. He showed us everybody. He brought everybody to justice. Biden didn't do any of that. That's how you defend him. Bringing it. Well, Biden didn't release the list either. That ain't saying nothing for Trump. And to some degree, that has become the go-to defense for President Trump. Corruption, spending, telling lies, no matter what. The go-to defense for President Trump has now become, well, somebody else did it too. Not once are you're no longer hearing, no, he didn't do that. MAGA's not saying that. When you accuse Trump of doing something, you're not hearing, no, he didn't do that. The go-to defense is now the point where somebody else did it too. They're not even saying the guy's innocent anymore. That should be problematic. Certainly if you believe that Biden or Obama or somebody was corrupt and that was your excuse to get rid of them. Okay, you got Trump now, and now you got to bring back up the guy you thought was horrible. You're bringing him up as a defense? That doesn't make sense. He is giving you his idiotic woke view of what he is reading. If people like him if people like him had no complaints during Biden administration, then it shows you a complete hypocrisy of his views. See, this is what I'm talking about. What happened to Trump didn't do it? I can't get MAGA to, no, he didn't do it. No, he ain't protecting pedos. No, he ain't taking gifts. No, he ain't corrupt. Where's that at? No, you didn't say shit when Biden was in office or Biden is doing it. What happened to he didn't do it? I mean, if you're bringing up Biden, you're admitting that everything being said is actually true. But you shouldn't be able to say nothing because your guy was doing it too. This guy was supposed to be different. He was going to expose the deep state. He was going to drain the swamp. You're using swamp creatures as a defense for him now, which is why I keep saying I don't understand why MAGA's not real disappointed with that. In the comments, going back to the box, tap the screen. We'll make it happen with the one and only Doomsday. Good evening, Doomsday. Talk to me. What am I getting wrong?
It is never ending, the bitching. The never-ending victim bitching.
What are you talking about?
Let me ask you a question.
Trump?
Let me ask you a question.
You talking about Trump?
No, you. I'm talking about you.
What's the difference between me and Trump? What's the difference between me and Trump? Every time you see him, he's bitching.
No. Every single thing that this president has done, you guys cry about it.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples. Give me some. What has he done that we crying about? Give me some examples.
What do you mean? Iran? We totally defeat a country. You guys are upset that we, destroy them with missiles. We stop. We try to diplomatic. You don't like we're diplomatically doing it.
What did he do that was diplomatic?
Economically doing it.
Do what I said or I'll kill you is not being diplomatic, straight talk.
It is, most certainly.
No, it's not.
Diplomatically is anything that does not require a cruise missile. That's being diplomatic. Anything that does not end with an explosion is diplomacy.
No,
and by the way, you guys didn't even like it when we were trying to do that. He's losing and rooting for Iran. And now we've done it economically where these people are in the Stone Age. They got 1,900 to 3,200% inflation in their country. Mm-hmm. $50 for a chicken's egg.
That's not a win, straight talk.
It is a win.
Let me explain. Give me a minute to explain.
You guys are crying about your gas prices.
It's not a win. Let me tell you why it's not a win. We've been heavily sanctioned in Cuba most of our adult lives. The people are dilapidated. They're poor. They're driving around cars that they piece together. They're not bowing because it's not hurting the leadership of Cuba. It's hurting the citizens. The leadership is fine. They don't give a fuck about the citizens. We're saying that if Iran got a nuclear bomb, they would use it immediately. So they clearly don't care about citizens. So getting on here and bragging about how poor we're making these citizens, because you know the Ayatollah's son is living lavish. You ain't hurting that guy. If you're saying they don't care about the citizens, then why brag about it?
You crying about boots on the ground. Look, we could have made quick work of Iran. But guess what? You don't like boots on the ground. You don't like winning. You like bitching. That's all you like doing. Here's
where you might have had me on your side. Why not go to the American people, Colin Powell style, and make a case for why we need to go to war? Trump basically said we need to go to war and fuck anybody who disagrees, while calling the Democrats. All the shit he said about the Democrats. You shouldn't be shocked that they don't agree with him.
You're asking us to reason with a bunch of toddlers that need a nap and a juice box. You guys need some sleep. I mean, goddamn! I have never in my life seen grown people. You know, I got my own show. I'm telling you right now.
Are you giving yourself a plug on my shit?
Hell yeah, I am. Hell yes, I am. Hell yes, I am. Are you crazy? Goddamn right, I am.
Go ahead and plug yourself.
Listen, I'm telling you, it is nonstop of y'all. If we aren't spoon feeding you, if we are not spoon feeding you health care, if we're not giving you loans for your education and shit, you guys are just not happy.
Here's what I don't understand. You make it sound like the Democrats are always bitching and crying in regards to Trump. But
I don't make it sound like that. That's exactly what's going on.
But you do realize Trump is still talking about fucking Obama, and he's been gone for 10 years. When Trump bitches and cries, you're okay with it. Every time a microphone is in front of Trump's mouth, is Biden this, Obama that, the Democrats this.
If you would weigh the things that are working, but none of it is working for you. You're not in power, okay? Your diaper is full. You're not in power.
Our diaper is full. That dude's ass is fatter than Tammy Faye Baker, but our diaper is full.
You look at yours. Listen to me. You are non-stop victim. Non-stop.
So is he.
Again, you expect him to be held to a higher standard. You seem to think that if he had the entire press corps, running interference for him, every day is an attack on this man. And he is still carrying you across the goal line.
Every day he's attacking somebody.
Regardless.
What do you think? You just think the people should just let him sit back and attack everybody and they should shut up?
Listen, what I'm saying to you is, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you're doing something for free for someone, and they are standing in the yard. You're mowing their lawn.
What is he doing free? What is he doing free?
What do you mean, what's he doing free? He's not taking a presidential salary. He's not taking a salary.
He got a jet. Hold on a second.
That is your jet.
Hold on a second. It ain't our jet. It ain't our.
Well, you're never getting on it with all the crying you do to have to clean the carpet. But it is the American people's jet.
What about him having the Secret Service stay at his hotels and shit and then charging them?
Yeah, that is. Listen, we haven't had a president that owned his own shit.
Yeah, but shouldn't that be prevented?
Hold on. Every president we have had before Donald Trump has been a broke ass before he got into office. Trump was wealthy before he came into office. He became poorer when he left office. Now the president is look.
I'm trying to figure out. Do you believe that should be allowed? Is to have a Secret Service at all the hotels and places to stay? You believe we should be using his facilities?
Well, that you can make that argument, okay? But he's the president regardless.
That's your salary
he's the
right
president
there.
24 hours a day. If you want to pass a law in the future, or
why should you need to do so? If he's an honest man, he know that's a conflict. Why the hell are we staying in your facilities? I mean, he didn't take a salary. You make it sound like he's doing the morally.
Are you sure that they wouldn't be paid more for staying in a non-Trump property? Maybe he's cutting our Secret Service a break for the American people. Maybe they would be staying in a goddamn Super 8 if it wasn't for Donald Trump. See, you don't even know. Your ass just thinks the worst of this man. He's in your dreams.
How do you say some shit like?
You got those way back cookies all over your face.
How do you say some shit like that and sound serious? That they may be standing in Super 8.
Because you don't know. And by the way, the president is the president 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't give the man a day off. So if he wants to take his ass back to Florida, he's going to be president in Florida. He's going to be the president in Washington, D.C.
I didn't hear that shit when Obama was going to Hawaii. He was 7 days a week. You guys weren't saying that back then.
You've never heard anyone one complaining. Well, people are going to complain about whatever.
Yeah, because they complained a lot.
I am adult enough to understand that Barack Obama was president 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I didn't hear that on Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden's in his basement. He's in bed. I didn't hear it on Biden either.
Joe Biden was never president. That coleslaw motherfucker never was president for a day. Not one day.
But this racist dude is president.
Don't be silly.
But this racist motherfucker, he's president.
What racist motherfucker? Joe Biden? We still talking about Joe Biden?
No, we talking about
corn pop.
We talking about the guy
who's racist again.
The guy who paints himself orange. Like, what the fuck is he, a clown?
Now look, who's being racist now?
You just called Biden all kinds of names. I figured I'd return the favor.
Listen, I'm telling you, Joe Biden was way more racist than Donald Trump.
You crazy.
Ask Clarence Thomas.
You
Thomas,
crazy.
who's more racist?
I mean, let me tell you something. The only people that think Biden is more racist than Trump are people that are not minorities. The minority community is not going to be looking at Trump and say, that guy loves us and Biden is the racist.
Do you know why? No, and that's not true.
That is true.
I know a lot of minorities, Tim, that think that Biden was, when he said, you're not black if you don't vote for me, you didn't take that racist because you're stupid, not because you're black.
No, I didn't take that as racist because I think you're stupid. The guy posting pictures of Obamas as monkeys and folks yelling white power and shit.
Your face that you're not black, like you've been not black one day in your life, and you ate that like mother's milk.
Right.
You lapped that up because it was Joe Biden who said that.
So if Biden says you're not black, what's the difference between him saying you're not black and Trump saying you hate America?
You do hate America. You're rooting for
and you're not black if you voted for Trump over Biden.
I'm not black.
And Biden was right then. Biden was right.
You are black and you voted for Biden, but you weren't black because you voted for Biden.
I'm just going to tell you.
Biden because you're not that bright.
I'm just going to tell you. You laughable. I'm just going to tell you. The reason you don't see Trump as being racist is because
he's not.
No, you ever heard of Takes One to Know One?
Okay, so you think because you're racist, you can detect another racist? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying just the opposite.
In your case, I do think you'd be more sensitive to the racism because you're playing it right now.
You probably over there fucking around and playing with nooses while you talking. You want to reach through the screen? I bet you if I can look on your device, you got one of them little pins that come out the bottom of the phone. You drawing nooses around my neck while we talking, motherfucker. Get out of here.
I would never. You are my brother.
You're right.
All I'm saying to you is I want the very best for you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You want me.
You have never heard me say, unless you and I are talking, unless we are having this conversation, you have never heard me say a derogatory thing about you. It is all.
No, you aiming it at Biden. You just called me idiot. You did say something derogatory. You just said I'm an idiot.
But you and I are talking. You're not going to hear that behind my back like you would stick the ruler. You guys you don't think I'd catch up on this stuff. I heard you guys' little conversation.
Okay.
That's a very, I'm not even there for it.
What does Stick say of concern to you? I'm curious.
No. You and Stick having your little conversation. I need to be in the room. You guys come on over and see me anytime y'all got agreements. How about you do that? Then you can say whatever trifling bullshit you want to say.
Listen.
That's why I came over to talk to you today to begin with. And by the way, if the president ever did anything that you liked, your tongue would fall out before you ever admitted it.
He has
so why should he even try for you?
He has done things I like.
What?
Secured the border.
Oh, you didn't like the way he did
I'll go with what Sherbert often brings up. I think him getting rid of the pennies, the waste we were wasting on copper. I think that's a good idea.
That's the best you can do. I mean, damn, I agree.
Well, he ain't done a lot of good. Well, straight talk, he ain't done a lot of good shit. I'm sorry, I don't have anything great.
Everything has been a positive for the United States. Everything he's done. Everything. Not just some stuff. Every single thing he's done has been a positive for this country.
So he did an awesome job with the Epstein files.
Yes, he released every single Epstein file. Every file has been released. Tell me it's not. Who do you want to see in the files you have not had access to? Please tell me.
You should be calling me collect from an insane asylum. What are you talking? You really believe
you should be waking up from a nap right
you
now?
You really believe he's released everything on the Epstein? Even the hardcore MAGA don't believe that.
They passed a law. Now, are they still redacting files? They are still redacting files. I get it. What do you expect for? What do you want? What do you think you're going to find?
Well, the fact that he's hiding them makes me wonder if there's more there.
Shit. That's what I'm saying. It's so easy for you to even. We talked about this before. You will never think those files are released. Never. I am convinced that until he gives you files with pictures and video of him with diddling kids, you will not consider those files released. You're waiting for something that never happened, and you're never going to be happy.
Let me ask it to you this way. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell minimum security? Why did they upgrade her accommodations?
Dude, I want to know the shit. I want to know that too.
Is it?
I want to know the answer to that question too.
But you believe he's released everything. He ain't even released that.
No. I 100%. It's not what I think. I know he signed a law releasing every single one of those documents. The only, and I mean the only reason you don't have them in your hot hands is because the Democrats demanded they be redacted. And you are talking about millions of documents.
Trump is president. Wait, hold on. Trump is president. None of the Democrats demand. He could unredact them anytime he wants. I want you to hear this, though.
If he wanted to lose the midterms, if he wanted to hear about it forever,
why would he lose?
And by the way, the lawsuits that would come out of that, don't be stupid. Do not act like
I want you to hear this.
Not that dumb.
I want you to hear this.
No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for politics.
So he's talking about the Epstein files as a hoax. You believe that, right?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he is talking about it. He is talking about it. What is he talking about?
He was talking about the Russian dossier.
No.
Everybody knows it was a hoax.
He's comparing it to the Russian dossier, and he's saying that's a hoax too. He's comparing it, but he's talking about the Epstein files.
Yeah, I did not hear Epstein files in all of what you played me.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what you took out of context, but all I heard was Christopher Wray. And by the way, can I ask you a question? Explain to me. Yeah, you should be, because this is a very obvious question.
Go ahead.
This was going on for years before the man became president.
That's why
Joe Biden,
part of why he became
Biden never
president.
Released any of these files.
That's why he
didn't release one file.
That's part of why he became president, is that the other administrations was not releasing it, and he was campaigning on he was going to do that.
And he did.
No, he didn't.
Within months.
No, he's calling it a hoax. He didn't release shit. He called it a hoax.
Yes,
in fact,
it because it's a hoax, Tim.
No, in fact, he had to be forced. Congress passed a law that said this shit had to be released, and he still took his time. He wasn't going to release anything.
No, Tim, he's not taking his time. Why do you think Pam Bondi got fired?
So
she was dragging her feet.
So wait, Pam Bondi? You said Pam Bondi got fired on because of the Epstein files?
Yes.
What?
Yes. She totally bungled the Epstein files, and that is exactly why she got fired. She went and made everybody walk out of the White House with binders, and we've got all the dirt, all that, and what? Nothing. And you guys are still talking about this bullshit. The president doesn't want you talking about this bullshit. He released those files a long time ago.
So
what the president would like for you to do is dig through these files, find whatever it is you think you want, and then go your own way.
So when Marjorie Taylor Greene said that, he said that people would get hurt, she was lying?
Yes, because Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted a job that the president refused to give her. And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
wait a minute.
He even does it to his own party, Tim.
Oh,
he didn't
my
make her any
God.
promises, and she's pissed about it.
You have Trump derangement syndrome. This is the opposite of what you guys say to Democrat. When you defend Trump, no matter what, you are the essence of Trump derangement syndrome. You're going to defend this guy no matter what he does.
Hold on. I'm not defending the president no matter what. You just haven't given me the or what. Everything you bring up is easy to defend.
The stuff he's done on the Epstein files. You're one of the few people that believe he's released everything. I haven't talked to even MAGA that believes that.
Sir. Everyone in the country knows he's released everything. There's a difference between things being released and things being redacted. He has released those documents. They are being
Let me ask it. Hold on. I got you on. You're on multiple.
No right,
you're on multiple. You're on multiple platforms. What I want to ask you folks is, I'm not going to do a poll. I'm just going to ask you folks, by way of yes or no in the comments, how many of you folks agree with my caller that Trump has released all of the Epstein files? Type yes if you agree with him, no if you don't. I'm just curious, because I got MAGA viewers. I'm curious to see if they agree with you.
Your audience isn't bright enough for three-letter words. Why don't you say yeah or nah? How about that? Your audience.
I got MAGA viewers though. I mean, some of them are MAGA as well. MAGA's not bright, huh?
I know, and they report back to me on a regular basis.
I'm just trying to see who's saying yes to these, because you're the first person I've ever heard suggest that they released all the Epstein files. You are literally.
You say, Pimp, it used to be 16 million, and now we're down to 3 million. So
handsome conservative, do you agree? Go ahead, straight talk. You crazy.
Pretty soon, you'll have everything that you want, except there'll be no Trump in the documents, and you're going to think that they're in Elon's car that he sent into space. That's where your documents are. The trunk of that Tesla. You guys are going to swear that Elon got rid of those documents for the president. I see it coming.
I got Grant saying 3 million still unreleased. I don't have one person saying yes. And not one. And I do get MAGA viewers. I mean, you got probably about a good 600 people among all these players. Not one person, not one said that he released all the Epstein files. Not one person said yes. Somebody typed yes just to troll. Not one person said yes. So you're wrong, dude. I'm telling you, there we go. We got one person. Somebody, Jane said yes, and I think Jane only said it because I said go ahead and troll.
I think you guys don't understand. You don't understand what released means. That's why.
What is this? You don't know the definition of is? What you don't know what released mean? What does released mean?
The documents have been released. Now,
they have not.
The Department of Justice says that they need to protect the victims' identities.
Oh.
They need to avoid compromising ongoing or related privacy rules and prevent disclosure of sensitive material like child sexual abuse documentation. Okay?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with whether or not the documents were released to the public. Nothing.
So we happen to release
million documents that are left.
So we don't know why Ghislaine Maxwell is in minimum security. They all of a sudden released all kinds of private information on the victims. The Trump administration has never met with the victims, and
according to this, Ghislaine Maxwell is cooperating with federal authorities, and that is the reason for her to be in a lower facility. But I wouldn't have done that. She's done the damage. I think that the only person responsible for all this is in prison, and the other person responsible for this is no longer with us.
So you don't think Ghislaine is responsible for anything?
No. She's in prison.
She's the one
in prison. Okay, she's the one in prison. The only other person that's responsible for this is he hung himself.
Do you think there are pedos on the files?
Again, I think it's a hoax. The president is satisfied that it's a hoax. Look, I haven't seen anything. Why are they not arresting people if there's all kinds of sexual assaults in there?
Your president,
you tell me that.
Because your president said his friends will get hurt. So you don't believe these girls were abused then?
I think a lot of them were. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because I think that there are a lot of people that have been used this way politically.
Were they abused by grown-ass men?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they were sexually abused. I think that they've been abused by grown-ass men for political reasons. I don't think that this is what people think it is.
Jesus.
I have no evidence. You show me the evidence of someone being sexually abused.
Wow.
Go ahead.
The evidence is how
I've read almost every one of those documents, skimmed. I'm not like telling you I studied them, but so far I've been very unimpressed.
Wow. I mean, you
What
had
do you have? What do you have?
I'm trying to give it
asking
to you.
everybody in the audience too. What proof do you have? Show me something. Okay? Don't just say how bad I am. Motherfuckers, put up or shut up.
the level of resistance to help people get to the bottom of this.
No, I'm totally open to you showing me some proof. You've had 5 years. Show it.
You got one thing that came out of the files is that an FBI agent interviewed a girl, I think she was 13, 4 different times, that stated Trump not only tried to make her perform oral, she bit him. I mean, an FBI wrote that in the interview.
He also said that after the 4th interview, he was convinced that she was not telling the truth. He gave her every benefit of the doubt, Tim. That's not my words. I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you what the man said. If he is guilty of that, he needs to be in prison. I have girls.
I don't think he could do anything where you would believe he was in prison. You would just make up an excuse for him.
It's not true. But I need you to show me some proof. That's what I need you to do. I need you to either show the proof or shut the fuck up.
So in other words, you believe Trump lied about the 2020 election then, because you ain't got no proof of that shit.
Oh, absolutely. It's all coming out. Are you kidding me?
It ain't came out yet. It ain't came out yet.
Everywhere.
Do you already have proof of it now? Do you already have proof of it right now?
Yes. And don't try to get me kicked off this platform again. I'm dead serious. I just today at 2:45 got out of TikTok prison.
So you wait. Well, I got to move it on for time anyway. But you're telling me you already have proof that what happened in 2020, he won.
Not just me. It is out there. If you want to see it, it's 100% out there. But again, you turn a blind eye to it. And by the way, I can show you you won't even do me the courtesy of showing me what you've got on the president. You don't even do that. You just expect me to take your word for it on something this serious.
You guys often talk about this not knowing what a man or a woman is. I actually think Trump could convince you that a man is a woman. I mean, no matter what he says to you, you're going to believe it. Real talk, you got a guest. Real talk.
Yeah, sir, I wanted to ask you a question, Mr. Doomsday, sir. You said show you because you constantly been asking Mr. Tim to show you the proof. But when you was up here earlier, you was making a lot of assumptions about what Trump was doing and not making these assumptions because Trump had told you the proof.
Give me something specifically, please.
Okay, so with the 2020 election, right? That's what we're talking about.
Hold on. Real talk. See if you can say contest or something, because he is right.
Contest.
He's right. They will censor you.
With the contest that Trump was talking about, when did he actually come out, besides saying it was going to come out and he was going to bring it out, when did he actually come out and show exact proof?
Well, he went in front of the entire country.
Okay.
I don't know whether you watched him. He came out in the entire country.
I know a lot about him.
Laid out a very good case. So, listen, I don't know how you missed that, but we'll get thrown off of TikTok for talking about it. So that should that should tell you a little something about who wants to talk about this and who does not. Now, I'm going to caution you. Okay, you paid your money. I'm gonna give you a little caution. Your ass will get tossed off this platform, not because of me, because one of these little minions of yours is gonna report you for talking about this. You cannot.
We're talking about the contest.
So when we're talking about the contest, right? Like you said, you don't know if I saw it. One thing I can tell you, sir, I don't know about his supporters, but I have researched this man back to 1987. Or in case you be like that. I don't know about his supporters, but I have watched every last one of his lives. I mean, his rallies. Every time that he was on TV, some of the rallies was over 2 hours because I wanted to really know about this man. Or in case he'd be like that. So when I had asked you that question, And notice that I had threw in, and I said, besides the times when he said something that was going to come out, he used his famous of 2 weeks, or the case should be like that. Now you can make a case, which is perfectly fine, but that's not what I asked you. Did he make a good case? What I asked you was, when did he come out and show actual proof?
And I told you. And by the way, if you'd like to take this conversation off of this platform, you and I can have that conversation. Not a problem. What I am telling you right now is, don't try to engage me about this subject on this platform. I'm on Rumble, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook Live, all of which you can talk about this. TikTok will not allow you to talk about this subject on this platform.
Okay, let's change the subject then. Let me ask you about some other proof. Or if a case should be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like something different. Or whatnot like that. You know how you know when we talk about socialism, I'm sure we can talk about that, right? Socialism?
Sure.
Okay. So when Trump said that somebody is a socialist, or the case should be like that, when did he show proof of this person actually being a socialist besides speculation?
No, not speculation. It comes out of their mouth. Anytime you want the government to run grocery stores, that is a socialist concept.
Wait, hold on.
Anytime
it don't come out of their mouth. The whole party don't. The whole party don't want that straight talk. That's Mamdani.
You did.
Trump says all Democrats are socialists.
He accused Mamdani of being socialist. Mamdani himself says he's socialist. AOC says she's socialist.
Trump accused Kamala Harris of being a socialist. Trump accused Kamala Harris of being a socialist.
Yeah, she is. She wants to close prisons. She wants free health care for everybody. She wants to open up the.
Kamala Harris want to close prisons.
Kamala Harris opened the country to 25 million illegal aliens. How is that not socialist?
Like when you say Kamala, right? Who was the first person you heard say that? Call her Kamala.
What the fuck is her name?
But I'm asking you because you said what F is her name. Okay, who was the first person you heard call her Kamala?
Her
name is Kamala.
What do you mean?
The reason why I'm saying that, sir, because like I told you earlier, I have followed this man. And one thing that I have noticed is with his supporters. Now, I ain't got no dig or nothing like that, but I'm just speaking facts. One thing I noticed with his supporters, a lot of the times they don't say a certain thing in a certain way unless they heard it from Trump first. I'm gonna tell you, Trump was the first one that started calling her Kamala because when he did it, yes, he did, sir. He did that at a rally. Sir, he did that at a rally.
I've been dealing with Kamala Harris for at least 10 years.
Man, I asked you where you where you first heard that from. Then you should have said your next thing out your mouth should have been.
I was confused.
I've been calling her that from way back when.
I was confused. I didn't even know I was saying it wrong.
Come on, sir.
She does her own damn commercials out here.
Sir, like when I ask you that question, and I ask you specific, because I like to be specific, because I know sometimes you can say things a certain kind of ways, and people might not understand because you're talking to the people.
Getting at? Am I saying your name wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No.
What? How do you pronounce it?
Like the punctuation, comma, la. Think comma, COMMA, and then LA. When you're saying Kamala, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's Kamala.
Now, sir, we all went to school and learned grammar, right? We all went to school and learned grammar. But again, like I had told
what does grammar have to do with her name?
You just asked a question, sir. You just asked about grammar. Isn't that true?
No. I asked you, how are you pronouncing her name? I have heard Kamala Harris in this state. I live in California. I've heard her called Kamala for the last 10 years. She was our attorney general here.
And they were
voting for her.
I have a hard time believing that as the attorney general there, when the news and stuff cover her, they were mispronouncing her name that much. I have a hard time believing that. Fox News and all, even Fox that don't like her, I don't believe they were just routinely mispronouncing her name.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so sir, let me
ask you. People mispronouncing my name. I can certainly sympathize with that. Her name, Kamala.
Well, I guess that's better than camel toe. I guess calling her Kamala, I guess that's better than camel toe and all the other shit.
Yeah, listen. I tried to use her name. I don't have a tendency to do that.
Thank you.
People like her. I'm perfectly fine with that. But no one on your side seems to be okay with me voting.
Okay, so Mr.
3 minutes.
Trump come out with okay, I'll be done in like a minute. But when Trump comes out and make a claim, do we always show proof of those claims that he made?
Well, look, a lot of times it's his opinion, or sometimes it is.
So that's no, right? That's no. There's no, he doesn't.
What do you mean?
Like, because I asked you, sir. I said when Trump comes out,
not everything you say do you have to come back and prove.
No, sir. No, I don't. Because when I talk, I'm gonna say from my opinion, or if the case say be like that, this is what it is. And I'm gonna say, if I'm talking about something that happened that I have no evidence or no proof about, I'm gonna say, well, this is what I heard. I don't know if that's really real because I don't have no evidence in it.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been wrong about anything?
Yes, sir. Everybody has been wrong.
So what's the difference between you being wrong and you lying?
Okay, so the difference between me lying and me being wrong, or okay, so be like something, because I assumed something that this was the case. And then when I'm lying,
you were just wrong, right?
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Let me explain to you. Okay. When I assumed that something was the case, I was wrong. But when I'm lying, because I'm talking for a certainty, or if case it be like that, I'm telling you.
When you're lying, you know that what you're saying isn't true. Now, a lot of times.
No, sir. When I'm lying, when you are lying, or if case it be like that, yes, you are saying something that you don't know is true. But at the same time, it depends on how you present it to people. Because I could be lying about something.
So anything you could say he's lying about anything, huh? You don't agree
with look, if I'm in a let me say this to you real quick. If I'm in a position where I can gain more information than you, and then I come out and tell you something or whatnot like that, and then knowing that I can get the information to know if what I'm telling you is the truth or not, then I'm putting myself in a position to be lying to you.
All right, I gotta move on, folks. I do gotta move on.
Wrong, or you?
Hey, nice chat.
All right, thank you, Real Talk. Go ahead and make your last point, then, Straight Talk.
Listen, here's you know what I say every time someone talks about Trump lying. First off, show me you know that he knew the information wasn't true. In order to be a lie, he has to know that what he is saying is untrue. Otherwise, he's wrong. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. You can.
So I can go around calling every white person in existence a racist because you got to prove that I knew it wasn't true.
Yeah, as long as I can't prove that you listen, that's your opinion. I'm not going to call you a liar, Tim. I'm going to say that is your opinion about every white person in the country.
All right.
That doesn't mean
that's a hell of a spin. That's a hellified spin. Okay,
it's not a hellified spin. It's just what we do for one another.
I'm just going to say it like this. Let's say even if what you're saying is correct, as a president with the amount of followers you got, you have the responsibility to at least make an effort. When you're saying things like people eating cats and dogs and shit, at least make an effort to try to verify something like that before going on TV and telling people. No, he wasn't right
about that. Look, I sent you all of those clips.
You ain't sent me shit to show people were eating cats and dogs.
Now you were lying because you know I sent it to you.
No, you did not.
You know I did.
No, you did not. You didn't send me anything that proved to me somebody in Springfield that was Haitian.
I sent you interviews with people. I sent you newspaper clippings of people. This is what they do, man. I'm sorry. It's uncomfortable, maybe. I don't know.
You know, let me just say this. If it was so common for Haitians to eat cats and dogs, you wouldn't send me interviews. You would send me a video of somebody showing you how to prepare a dog. If they all doing it, you can't find somebody eating one and showing you how.
I sent you an interview between.
Not an interview. Somebody doing it. Somebody actually doing it.
All right.
You got hundreds of people in town. You got hundreds of people in town. You got hundreds of people in town. It's their custom to eat cats and dogs. Show me a video of somebody doing it. Shouldn't be that hard to find.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I'll start looking for that.
Thank you. I gotta go. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And I haven't seen shit to indicate that was happening. I think it's kind of like what Real Talk was saying, is that if Trump says something, therefore it is. I've seen one video of this, or yeah, it was a video. The cops were encountering this woman that was in the middle of like a apartment complex outside on the sidewalk with looked like a deceased cat. And they tried to use that as an example to show, first of all, I don't care what they used to eating. You're not going to find any group of man, any tribe, any country, you name it, that picks up a cat off the ground and just bites into it. We have discovered fire for centuries. Every tribe, if they're going to eat any animal, they're going to use fire to prepare it. So the fact that the woman is sitting there with an actual animal, you're going to tell me the Haitian, that's what they typically do? They just pick up cats and bite into them? Your dental work ain't even capable of handling that. So the fact that the woman was not sitting there with some kind of campfire in a pot and shit, that should tell you that ain't how the Haitian community does not do that. There are Cambodians and folks in Thailand and shit that do eat, Koreans eat dogs, but they all use fire to prepare the meat. They don't pick up an animal with fur and all and just bite into it. And that's what they were trying to tell us. Well, see, here's an example. Crazy ass bitch sitting in the middle of the sidewalk with an actual dead cat, and we're supposed to believe that they just bite into him raw like that. Y'all trying to pass some really crazy shit, I tell you. Anyway, looking on the comments, nobody wants to deal with America while Trump is at the helm. We are a challenge to deal with. I don't deny that. We are challenging right now to deal with under President Trump because he's kind of doing what he wants to do. And that alone can make us hard to deal with. Tim, please don't let the cult take us home. That's kind of how it may work tonight, Tamar. That's kind of how it may work. Not a lot of love and support tonight. Anyway, looking at the comments real quick before I do wrap it up. Denkel says we don't have access to the national secretary apparatus. Look, he actually believes, my last caller believes that Trump has released all of the Epstein stuff. I asked a question in the comments. It was almost 100% said no. I think one person did say yes. One person said yes, but I think most of the folks did say no. What does that say? Probably a pussy too. What do you say? The current administration will take note on this trade war of 2026. The tech bros is Trump's meal tickets. It will take years to find all of Trump's deeds. I actually do believe that. I would not be surprised. I'll tell you this. I would not be surprised if some of them leave America. I mean, you know, what is his name? The Def Jam guy. Run DMC is his brother. What is the Def Jam guy? You guys know who I'm talking about. He left America. The Me Too movement was closing in on him. Something Simmons. What is it? Russell Simmons, yeah. He left America. I don't know why R. Kelly didn't. I mean, R. Kelly, like, dude, you know they're coming after you. Like, I don't know why he didn't, but Russell Simmons left and he ain't came back. Like, fuck that. My guess is there are going to be some folks close to Trump that are going to leave. I mean, he done already made a really cushy spot in Argentina, even though we have an extradition treaty with them. I don't think it's cushy in Russia. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if some of them leave the country. I don't believe everything they done is on the up and up. P. Diddy is another one, Kurt. I don't know why he didn't leave the country either. Like, you know they coming. You got the means to get up out of here. Like, you should just bounce. Like, dude, you know they coming. I'm sure your lawyer's telling you shit. They ain't took your passport yet. You got your own aircraft. Say what? You said it's full of fuel? Really? I mean, I hear Castro got a runway available, and then you can go from there. Castro will give you a whole nother passport on touchdown. I don't know why P. Diddy didn't bounce. I don't know why they didn't leave. Like, you got all the money. I mean, P. Diddy was a billionaire. You go and get you one of them fucking Floyd Mayweather. He don't need it anymore. Them Floyd Mayweather gym bags. Floyd Mayweather don't need them anymore. Did he used to carry around all that money in? Go get you a few of those, throw it in the back of that plane and bounce. I don't know why P. Diddy didn't do that. In the comments says Canada, what does that say? It's Trump's pardoned fraudsters. Yeah, Trump has pardoned a lot of folks that are guilty of fraud. Anyway, I'm starving. And you guys ain't showing your boy no love. So it is what it is. I do appreciate 205,000. By the way, thank you very much. We will be back here tomorrow. If you enjoy this type of programming, follow the program. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give your boy a, what do you call it? Give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. And having said that, I got to step away and feed the body. Catch you later. Thank you.